Hey, and as always, as you go out into the world today, make sure you see something that inspires, say something that uplifts, and do something that makes a difference.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 3 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. Look at this, 52 degrees, KSL's top story. The parents of a child with breathing difficulties have filed a lawsuit against the Alpine District. They claim a bus driver sat on their son to restrain him. KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell with details.
According to the lawsuit, this is not the first time Kathy Draper, a bus driver employed by Alpine School District, had abused the 9-year-old. Prosecutors are alleging that Alpine School District officials had seen video evidence of Draper physically abusing the same child before, but apparently did nothing. The lawsuit also says the child has intellectual and physical disabilities, which include significantly diminished lungs. Hugo Ricard-Bell, KSL News Radio.
And KSL has reached out to the Alpine School District for comment, but they have yet to respond. KSL News Time 3:01. We have breaking news. We just learned that 3 of Utah's top leaders have met with the NHL commissioner today. Governor Cox, Senate President Stuart Adams, and House Speaker Mike Schultz say that they're all excited about the prospect of being the new home to an NHL franchise. We'll see, and we'll bring you more details as they're available. Stay with us at KSL News Radio. A Utah man is suing the University of Utah, claiming that he's the victim of reverse discrimination. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera has the story.
Dr. Wyatt Feld alleges the school's diversity initiatives are the reason he was passed up for a professor position in the mechanical engineering department. As a white man and Latter-day Saint, he argues gender, race, and religion kept him from getting hired in spite of his qualifications. In a statement, the university said they haven't had a chance to review these claims, but did show us a rejected appeal with the state's Anti-Discrimination and Labor Division from last July, showing those claims were unfounded.
Dr. Felt has yet to respond to our request for comment. Well, you already know the state of Utah is suing TikTok for its alleged harmful impact on teens. Now we're seeing the details of the suit. According to an unredacted copy of the lawsuit, Utah charges that TikTok manipulates users with its never-ending feed and highly personalized push notifications. The suit claims 1 out of every 5 teens between ages 13 and 15 use the app between midnight and 5 a.m., hoping to reap rewards. A military mix-up is being blamed for a drone strike that killed 3 U.S. service members. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, air defenses were confused because a U.S. drone was returning as another attacked the base in Jordan. The deaths are the first military deaths since Israel's war with Hamas began. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh explains why the unit was there.
These 3 fallen heroes were deployed to Jordan in support of Operation Inherent Resolve and the international coalition working to ensure the lasting defeat of ISIS.
White House National Security Advisor John Kirby says there's no reason any U.S. response to the attack should have an impact on ongoing hostage negotiations.
We're not cocky. We understand there's a lot of hard work ahead, and that work ahead of us diplomatically certainly might be affected by events elsewhere in the region, not just what happened in Jordan and what might come as a result of that.
The drone attack was carried out by Iran-backed militants. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is hoping to leverage her home state to gain ground on former President Trump as the state hosts the 3rd competitive contest of the primary season. Columbia Mayor Daniel Rickenman tells ABC News what's on the minds of voters ahead of the primary.
It is truly focused on public safety, mental health, housing, economic development, job creation. I mean, people are talking about front porch issues right now.
President Biden carried Columbia County in the 2020 general election, which helped propel him to the White House. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Jury selections underway today for a Salt Lake City canine handler accused of ordering his dog to assault a surrendering suspect. Nicholas Pierce is accused of sicking his canine on a man who was kneeling and showing his hands. This was back in 2020. After that incident, Salt Lake City stopped using canines to arrest suspects. Should he be convicted, Pierce could get up to 15 years in prison. Well, the Super Bowl is now less than 2 weeks away. Can you handle the pressure? KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla reports.
Researchers are looking at how strong emotions can increase the risks of cardiovascular issues. Those strong emotions can be triggered by earthquakes, war, extreme weather, and buzzer beaters by your favorite team. Several studies have come to the same conclusion. In 2017, hockey fans experienced double their resting heart rate during a game. And in 2022, heart issue-related hospital visits jumped 15% during World Cup soccer games.
Health officials say first you got to stay hydrated, and if you feel irregular heart symptoms, go straight to the hospital. Do not wait till the end of the game. KSL Sports Utah's women's basketball team has slipped to number 20. There's a just-released AP Top 25 poll. The Lady Utes opened the season ranked number 5, highest ever, but with their record now 15-6, they've fallen 15 slots. KSL News Time 3:06 now. First look traffic, Ricky Meese is here. How are we doing on a Monday?
Off to a bumpy start, I'm afraid. In Utah County, we have a crash on southbound I-15 north of Center Street. It's been affecting the 2 right lanes of traffic. Then southbound Mountain View corridor. Delays due to an accident at 5400 South. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ricky. My minute's on the way next. Stay right here.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt! Yeah!
As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more about a COVID-19 vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
And some Frank's Red Hot.
Nah.
You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
If you've ever set New Year's resolutions before, you know how difficult it is to follow through because you have to wait to see the results. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and in honor of your New Year, New You resolutions, Any Hour Services is having our New Year, New System sale. From now until the end of February, Any Hour Services will give you $2,024 off a new furnace and air conditioner. And you don't have to wait to save the money. You get $2,024 off at the time of purchase. The only thing you have to do to qualify for our New Year, New System sale is call Any Hour Services and schedule a free estimate. When you call, there's no obligation to buy. Just schedule a time to meet that works best for you. Let me say that again. From now until the end of February, when you have Any Hour Services install a new furnace and air conditioner, we'll give you $2,024 off. Call Any Hour Services right now and schedule a free estimate. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Brought to you by Dominion Energy's ThermWise program, where they put their energy into helping you conserve it. Start saving energy and money today at thermwise.com.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Completing her takeover of the known world, now Taylor Swift gets a Super Bowl. Yesterday, they tried to talk about football.
They got 66 yards in total offense.
But then she's on the field, kissing and hugging her man, and everything stops.
Travis Kelce. Hey,
with Taylor Swift.
To the victors go everything.
Life is good if you're Travis Kelce. It's going to be his Chiefs and the Niners, but really, it's going to be Taylor Swift against the clock. For big as this game is, the real drama will be whether Tay-Tay gets to Vegas in time to see it. Follow along. She has a concert in Tokyo the night before. Because of the 17-hour time difference, if she hops on a private jet right after her last song, she could make it to Vegas, maybe, in the middle of the fourth quarter, maybe. It's a 13-hour flight. Talk about heart-stopping drama.
Grab your passport in my hand. I can make the bad guys good for a weekend.
Will Will she arrive at the game in time to see her boyfriend hoist the Lombardi trophy? I can see this so clearly. America sitting on the edge of the couch, slurping up the 7-layer dip as roads close in Vegas and police clear a path for the singer's motorcade. Wall-to-wall coverage, paparazzi, airborne choppers following her to the stadium and to her seat to see Kansas City coronated, confetti fluttering, and Taylor kissing her chief. But she could have avoided the entire drama a year ago, before her big tour, before Travis Kelce, the NFL, offered her the Super Bowl halftime show, and Taylor said no. She didn't need football. Her tour had already sold out all of the football stadiums, but now, with millions of women suddenly enamored with the Chiefs, football needs her.
Don't say I didn't warn ya.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. And here's Ricky Meese.
We begin in Utah County, where we've had an accident southbound I-15 prior to Center Street in Provo. It's been blocking a couple of right lanes of traffic. They're trying to get it moved out of the way, but you are going to see a little bit of slowing in the area. You can still make that exit at Center Street. Just be prepared to stay in the center lanes in order to get around this crash before making it to the right to the exit. Now, in Salt Lake County, we've had an accident southbound Mountain View corridor at 5400 South. At one point, a left lane was blocked. We've had backups in that area for a long time this afternoon, so if you're traveling through West Valley and Kearns, going southbound on Mountain View, be prepared for some backups. The good news, Salt Lake County freeways all clear and looking good. Steve?
Well, so far so good. If you're on I-15, that's either way between downtown Salt Lake and Brigham City this afternoon. As we start your afternoon commute, plenty of sunshine, good speeds on the 215 westbound and Legacy. All clear on both directions of Highway 89 between Lagoon and Ogden. Had a crash in Layton on eastbound Antelope Drive at Fort Boulevard. But it looks like that one has cleared up. When you choose Performance Automotive in Bountiful, you're choosing exceptional service from 4 dealers: Performance Ford, Lincoln, Performance Honda, Performance Toyota, and Truck Country. See performancebountiful.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
It's the doldrums of winter. High of 52 today, sunny skies, but yes, a little hazy in spots. 30 overnight with clear skies, turns mostly clear for tomorrow with a high of 53. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
52 degrees. We have sunshine in Salt Lake City. On the way on KSL, AI deepfakes. I mean, people being turned into porn without their consent, and they never really did anything, all thanks to computers. We're going in depth coming up. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station, 312.
I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless.
I've had so many experiences, Debbie, working on my house. When I need some help, someone comes out, they give me a bid, and then when I actually get the invoice after the work is done, it's like the bid never happened.
That won't happen with Master Electrical. Master Electrical has their upfront pricing guarantee. They show up, they look at the job that you need done around the house, they give you a bid, and that is the price you pay at the end of the job.
They do everything. Anything that has to do with your electrical work, lights, ceiling fans, smoke detectors. I just learned that you're supposed to replace your smoke detector every 10 years. That's brand new knowledge.
Give Master Electrical a call. They are proudly serving from Logan to Santa Quin, and they're always open, including for emergency services.
Yeah, give them a call, 801-543-2222. That's 801-543-2222.
Or check them out online at masterelectrical.com.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more panels of select OSB sheathing. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Can an insurance bot ever really understand your needs?
Do you think I'd benefit from bundling my auto and home coverage?
Searching for homes with car dealerships nearby.
Sure, robots listen, but do they understand you? At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we'll help you save money and time by bundling your auto and home insurance. Find an agent at fbfs.com/protect. It's your future. Let's protect it. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Spend your workday with a talk show that makes you feel better about the news.
Dave and Dujanovic.
They have a good dynamic between the two of them.
Sometimes I'll take Dave's side and sometimes I'll take Debbie's side.
They're great.
Dave and Debbie, live from 9 to noon, or podcast the show on the app for KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 3:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
bus driver in Alpine School District allegedly sat on a child with disabilities in order to restrain him, and his parents are suing. On KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricardbo.
Second, Utah's governor, Senate president, and House Speaker all met with the NHL commissioner today. They talked about the prospect of bringing a pro hockey team to the state. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Good speeds on I-15 both directions in Weber Davis and Salt Lake counties, but in Utah County, we do have this accident southbound I-15 just before the Center Street exit in Provo. It's been blocking a right lane of traffic. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Mostly sunny with highs in the low 50s today. I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now we're at 52 in Salt Lake City at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now our top national stories.
ABC News. I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The White House is weighing options after a deadly drone attack over the weekend. 3 U.S. service members were killed and dozens of others injured. The Biden administration blames militias backed by Iran. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby.
We do not seek another war. We do not seek to escalate. But we will absolutely do what is required to protect ourselves, to continue that mission, and to respond appropriately to these attacks.
The enemy drone may have been confused with a U.S. drone heading back to the base at the same time. Senate negotiators say they could hold a vote on a border agreement sometime this week. President Biden is calling on lawmakers to send him something to sign. Former President Trump is urging them to scuttle a deal until after the 2024 election. It comes as Congress moves ahead with actions against a cabinet member who handles border issues.
Republicans in the House are trying to impeach Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, accusing him of violating his oath of office by, quote, willfully and systematically refusing to comply with federal immigration laws. Now, the House Homeland Security Committee is now set to consider these articles of impeachment tomorrow, and the House Speaker is promising a floor vote as soon as possible. But the department is defending Mayorkas, calling this impeachment effort just an evidence-free political stunt.
ABC's Mary Bruce at the White House. Writer E. Jean Carroll says she was elated when a New York jury awarded her $83 million in a defamation case against the former president.
I'd like to give the money to something Donald Trump hates.
Carroll tells ABC News about one of her ideas.
Perhaps a fund for the women who have been sexually assaulted by Donald Trump.
Trump was ordered to pay Carroll for defaming her more than 100 times after she accused him of sexually assaulting her in the 90s. He plans to appeal. Stocks edged higher today with another record close for the S&P 500. You're listening to ABC News.
And now the in-depth on KSL. AI photos are in the headlines after compromising photos of Taylor Swift made the rounds on social media the past few days. Dave and Dujanovic spoke about this terrifying ordeal on their show today, Debbie noting that this isn't just a celebrity problem. It could happen to anyone, especially women and girls.
This is our daughters. These are our moms, our sisters, our aunts, our grandmothers. I mean, these criminals know no bounds. They say these type of fake images can harm a person's health and well-being by causing psychological trauma. I'm just choking up about this because I just cannot imagine my daughters having to deal with this. It causes issues with their well-being, the psychological trauma, the feeling of humiliation. It causes fear. It causes embarrassment. These cause shame. It impacts relationships. It harms their reputation. And it affects their employability.
Debbie says not enough is being done to prevent fake images and that it starts with internet users circulating the photos on social media. KSL News Time 3:19. You've been listening to the In-Depth. Now, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dyno app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Ricky, what's up?
Still looking at normal KSL travel times on I-15 in Salt Lake County between downtown and Draper. We had an accident westbound on the South Belt. This is near State Street. It has been moved out of traffic, but it is now starting to cause just a little bit of busy traffic in the area. No serious delays there or on the rest of your Salt Lake County freeways. Southbound Mountain View corridor. We're starting to see the delays ease due to an earlier accident at 5400 South. And then I-15 in Utah County. We've had this accident on the southbound side as you're approaching the Center Street exit in Provo. It's been blocking a right lane and causing some delays. Steve?
Well, nothing to slow you down if you're on I-15 this afternoon. Got full speeds. We're crash-free. That's good news between downtown Salt Lake and Willard Bay State Park. That goes for the 215 West Belt, Legacy, and Highway 89 so far this afternoon. Big O Tires is locally owned and operated in Utah now through February 19th. Get up to $160 off select sets of tires after mail-in rebate. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast has balmy January weather in store for most of the week. We'll go 52 today, sunny skies and hazy. Mostly clear for tomorrow, 53. We'll then go mostly sunny skies again on Wednesday, 56. Very, very mild. 55, mostly cloudy with a southerly breeze on Thursday. Showers increase Thursday night. Friday, showers, 49. Maybe a rain snow mix on Saturday, 42. We drop it down to 43, mostly cloudy on Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
A gorgeous 52 degrees with sunshine in Salt Lake City. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll check on the markets in just a moment.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
It's human nature, Amanda, that no matter how much money we have in our savings account, it never seems like it's enough. And if you find yourself in that mode right now, let us direct you over to our friends at UCCU. They are wanting to help you supercharge your savings.
UCCU is offering high-rate savings options with yields up to 5.5%. All you do is go to UCCU.com and select a high-rate savings option to do just what you said, supercharge your savings.
You're going to get a much bigger return on your savings right now. It's a savings certificate, which means you make one deposit up front and your money grows over a fixed period of time. So you can have that grow over 5 years, but UCCU has created some very short-term savings certificates with high yields, short like 6 months, 9 months, or a year.
So you decide how long do you want to put that money. You deposit money, a one-time only deposit, and then you let it stay in. The longer it stays in there, the higher the interest rate you earn.
And if you need immediate access to your money, UCCU's Money Market will give you a high yield and anytime access.
UCCU, you're going to love where you bank.
It's the Boat Show, February 1st through the 4th at Mountain America Expo.
Save $2 at UtahBoatShow.com.
The Boat Show, fun for the whole family.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. Opening a My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal record and interactive tools tailored for you. You can see if you are eligible to receive benefits, view spousal benefit estimates, and compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates when you want to start receiving benefits. Already receiving benefits? Use your account to change your address, set up or change direct deposit, get a proof of income letter, and more. In most states, you can also request a replacement Social Security card. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. The world's top pharmaceutical companies are getting a bit nervous as we get ever closer to the day their patents expire. CNN is reporting the top 20 drug companies have $180 billion at stake between now and 2028. Casino gambling has never been bigger. Betting reached $160 billion in December alone. If people are willing to gamble away money, economists say this proves Americans are feeling good about the economy. Utah Olympic and Paralympic skiers and boarders just got $1 million donation toward their mental health and their performance recovery. The donation coming from the Altera Mountain Company Foundation. It's going to benefit more than 240 athletes. On Wall Street, another record high for the Dow, sixth record close of the year. The Dow picking up 224 points at 38,333. The S&P gained 36 points. The NASDAQ up 172. Oh, Winter Olympic lovers. Do you remember where the last one was held? Do you remember? I had to think about it. Beijing. And it turns out one of the athletes shouldn't have been there.
The U.S. Olympic Committee praised the decision by the Court of Arbitration for Sport to disqualify Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva from the Beijing Olympics. She failed a doping test but took part in the team figure skating event, which Russia won. The IOC decided at the time not to award medals. The U.S. finished second and is now set to be elevated to gold.
ABC's Brian Clark there. For the record, the 2026 Winter Games will be held in Milan, Italy.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Join KSL in the movie show this Friday, 10 to 1 at the Salt Lake NPS store. It's 1600 Empire Road in Salt Lake City, npsstore.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The political accusations will only get louder.
Stop the invasion of our southern border.
He doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it.
The world around us will only become more divided. With more conflict come key decisions about news stories and the facts. That's why we choose our words carefully at KSL. Ask better questions and leave the conclusions to you. The stakes are higher, and we have you covered at KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together were brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Looks like we have a secondary problem in back of the accident on southbound I-15 prior to Center Street in Provo. I'm not sure if this is a crash, but it does involve a vehicle and a tractor trailer, and emergency crews are now blocking off 2 right lanes of traffic. Again, this is before the initial crash before Center Street in Provo, and they did have to hold back traffic for a while, so that is what is causing the big backups on I-15 in Utah County. A delay-free drive on all of your Salt Lake County freeways with earlier crashes on southbound Mountain View at 5400 South and I-215 South Belt cleared. Steve?
Well, southbound Foothill Drive fairly bogged down right now between Sunnyside Avenue and 13 South. I-15, though, in good shape between downtown Salt Lake City and Brigham, same for the West Side Belt Route. Legacy, no problems there, and Highway 89, good to go as well. Have some delays on westbound 5600 South in Roy from I-15 out to 2700 West. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
With the core of high pressure right over the Great Basin, we'll keep temperatures similar to yesterday. Low 50s, sunny skies, mild, even some haze. 30 overnight, goes mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 53. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 3:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. 52 degrees in Salt Lake City. KSL's top story. New details in the state of Utah's lawsuit against TikTok suggest that the social network knew exactly how harmful its platform can be for young people. KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce here.
The details come from unredacted parts of the lawsuit filed in court by the state last week. The state's complaint argues TikTok not only manipulates users to hook them on the app, it says TikTok designed features that way on purpose.
In a statement, Attorney General Sean Reyes says now the public will be able to fully understand why the state wanted to act so quickly and decisively. Governor Spencer Cox joined Boyd Matheson on KSL TV's Sunday edition yesterday to talk about this lawsuit.
You know, we don't let kids go gamble in Vegas and get addicted to slot machines, but it's the very same technology. It's the very same theory that they're using to addict our children.
The governor says social media companies need health warnings very much like the ones on packs of cigarettes. You don't often find Utah and New York on the same page, but New York City has officially declared that social media is an environmental toxin. Well, this requires some explanation. New York City's Department of Health has issued an advisory that identifies unrestricted access to social media for kids a public health hazard. New York City's urging parents to avoid giving their kids a smartphone until age 14. State lawmakers are considering a $4 million plan for new electric bus service that would span most of the west side of Salt Lake County. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
Senate Minority Leader Luz Escamilla is trying to help UTA get the final $4 million they need for their West Side Express project. This bus route would run along 5600 West from the Old Bingham Highway to the airport before crossing over all the way into downtown Salt Lake City. Escamilla said in a subcommittee hearing today that with all the growth in that area and the potential for multiple sports stadiums along that route, we need another way for people to get around.
The proposed funding still needs to be approved by the full legislature. A Utah lawmaker wants even bigger fines for people who speed in school zones. State Representative Robert Spenlove tells David Dujanovic Utah hasn't updated the current law in 27 years.
We have a very high fine for speeding in a construction zone. Let's have the same kind of fine for school zones because we value our kids as much as we value construction workers.
Right now, speeding in a school zone carries a minimum fine of $50. This bill would increase that to $260. This bill would also increase the fine if you drive around a school bus when its stop sign is out. The punishment would be $1,000 plus community service. House Republicans are taking the next step toward impeaching a top member of the Biden administration. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, House Republicans accuse Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas of failing to curb the influx of migrants at the border. They claim he's ignoring federal law by not expelling migrants. Department of Homeland Security calls it a political stunt. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says if Republicans are serious about border security, then they should get behind an agreement being negotiated by a bipartisan group.
They're serious about really changing real policy
policies and coming up with policies that's going to make a difference and putting forward resources, then they would be part of getting this bipartisan agreement passed.
Meantime, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is finding a long-distance ally in his battle with the federal government over border policy. Idaho's governor is sending 2 teams of state troopers to help at the border. New Jersey Congressman Frank Pallone has introduced legislation that he says will curb the frequency of robocalls and scam texts.
Most of what's a robocall will become illegal. There will be enhanced penalties, and there'll be ways of trying to update the process with these federal agencies.
He says a recent Supreme Court decision allowed scammers to go around existing do not call protections. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Shilaos, KSL News Radio.
A Utah lawmaker wants to change custody arrangements for children conceived by assault. Right now, parental rights could be given to the rapist. KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell with more. Hugo?
Jeff, the bill passed its first hurdle in a House committee this afternoon with a unanimous vote. The National Sexual Violence Resource Centre reports that half of women who were victims of assault were assaulted by intimate partners. Victim advocates who have spoken to KSL say one of the hardest things for survivors to do is actually leave their partner and then be forced to see them regularly due to child custody laws. Should the bill pass, if a victim can prove her child was conceived by rape, she can have her abuser's parental rights terminated. From the Capitol, Hugo Ricard-Bell, KSL News Radio.
Thanks, Hugo. KSL News Time 3:36. Now, first look traffic. We've had problems on a Monday afternoon, Ricky.
We have, especially on southbound I-15 in Utah County, where we've had 2 crashes prior to Center Street in Provo. And each time they've been blocking the right lanes of travel. It has created slow and go and stop and go delays back to about University Parkway in Orem. So if your travels are taking you through Utah County, be prepared for about 5 to 10 extra minutes of travel time. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
All right, Ricky, my minute's on the way next. Stay right here.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. A little experiment here that you can try in your home just for fun. Take 2 water heaters, run hard water through one and soft water through the other, then count how many years each one lasts. Now, of course, I can save you all that trouble because the experiment takes place every day in countless homes right here in the state of Utah. The result's always the same. Hard water makes water heaters and other appliances conk out years before they should. And that's why when Dee and I built our new home, I informed the builder that we'd have Connecticut put in our soft water. I just won't settle for anything else. With Connecticut, you'll use 2/3 less salt. All the mechanical design makes it virtually maintenance-free. And I'll tell you what, your water heater and other appliances will last years longer. All you have to do is contact my friends at Connecticut of Utah, an authorized Connecticut dealer. To learn more, call Connecticut. It's 801-576-8600 or log on to softwaterutah.com.
When's the best time to plant a tree? It was 20 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? It's now. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I remember years ago being sent home from elementary school with a small tree in a styrofoam cup. I know some of you can relate. If that was planted, it's now bigger than you are. Your finances are the same way. The best time to get started, or the best time to get a second opinion, is now. And with time and patience, imagine how big your financial tree could be. 20 years ago, if you invested $1,000 in Apple stock, it could be worth over $500,000 today. That is a big tree. Do that for you and do that for someone you love. Call Trajan Wealth today and help us help you plant that financial tree. Call 801-899-7600. That's 801-899-7600. Or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Getting help with plumbing repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
A legacy of news and information going back generations.
I'll have the radio on. I learned that from my mom. She's listened to KSL her whole life, and I grew up listening to KSL radio, too.
I really enjoy listening in the morning.
We have you covered at KSL News Radio.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Another case of rage at the airport, but this one's a little different. A passenger was so fed up with the delay before takeoff, he took things into his own hands. This was an Aeromexico flight out of Mexico City. Instead of taking off for Guatemala, the jetliner sat on the tarmac and baked. Passengers were sweltering, the air grew stale, and after 3 hours, one guy had enough. He opened the emergency exit and took a walk on the plane's wing. Then, after breathing some outside air, he waltzed back into the plane. You already know what happened next. Police came aboard, they arrested the renegade, but it's what happened after the arrest that is capturing the world's attention. Another passenger scrawled a handwritten statement in a notebook, thanking the man for opening the door, complaining the airline endangered the health of passengers. The author of the note proclaimed that this wing walker saved everybody's life. And here's the twist. 77 fellow passengers signed that note. A rebellion backing Coach. I ask you, do these people sound happy? With this uprising, the airline finally let everybody off the plane after 5 solid hours. Aeromexico found another plane and it took off with all the disgruntled passengers aboard except for the wing walker, the guy who took one for the team. There's no word if he's going to face charges.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Unusual delays southbound I-15 in Utah County. They start just after 800 South. As you're going from Orem into Provo. And it's due to 2 different crashes that we had prior to the Center Street exit, Provo. So until they're able to get those crashes completely cleared out of the way, I don't think these delays are going to grow too much, but they're also not going to dissipate until those accidents are gone. Again, so going from Orem to Provo, it is bogged down. Salt Lake County freeways, no delays. Now, traffic is starting to get a little busy southbound I-15, South Salt Lake, Murray, and Midvale, but not slowing down on I-15, as well as the rest of the Salt Lake County freeways. You're good to go. Steve?
Salt Lake City fire crews have been called out to a house fire. This is 3rd North and about 140 West. That will probably affect traffic in that area, so try to avoid that. No delays on I-15, though, up north, full speeds, and we're still crash-free between downtown Salt Lake and Willard Bay State Park. Got a good drive on 215 West Belt and the Legacy Parkway. And Highway 89, all good to go between Lagoon and I-84. Hunt Utah's biggest bucks and bulls for just $5. It's the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo in Salt Lake City, February 15th to the 18th. Go to huntexpo.com for details. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
We'll be running 12 above the normal today with a high of 52, hazy sunshine. Overnight, 30 degrees, clear skies. For tomorrow, 53, mostly clear skies, up to 56 by Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, 52 in Salt Lake City. You know, we never know what's going to happen on Utah's Capitol Hill. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and listen to Tim and Amanda, and I say, they proposed what? Listen to them tomorrow morning. Utah's Morning News when you wake up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. They're on the app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. It's 342.
Hi, this is Doug Wright, and we all loved and grew up with the game. Now you're going to love the show. It's on the stage at Hale Center Theater right now, and it's called Clue. It is so funny, so clever, and I've got to tell you this. I love plays that include slow motion scenes, I'm not kidding you, and even rewind scenes. And if you're looking for the best death scene ever witnessed on the stage, it's waiting for you right now at Hale Center Theater in Clue. But there's so much more coming up in the 2024 season, and that includes Fiddler on the Roof. That's coming up next. Sound of Music, May We All, a country musical, The Time Machine, The Nutty Professor, Aladdin, The Magician's Elephant, and Beauty and the Beast. It's going to be a great season at Hale Center Theater. Go to hct.org to get your season tickets, individual tickets, and, of course, gift cards.
The new year is here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the year. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Don't forget your air ducts to help alleviate allergies or asthma. Enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home will stay cleaner longer. Don't DIY it. Call Zero Res because you know it's safe and effective. Zero Res has a 4.8 rating on Google with over 3,300 reviews. The Zero Res Gotta Love It guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. Yeah, Zero Res absolutely stands behind every cleaning. Don't miss the best deal of the year. Get back to clean and get one room of carpet cleaning starting at just $25 per room by using promo code 25RM. Call Zero Res at 866-ZERO-RES or go online at ZeroRes.com and say you want the station special. Zero Res. Spell it backward or forwards. It spells the same.
You probably love some Utah Jazz tickets. Am I right?
Through traffic all the way to the finish line and let it up and in.
KSL wants you to go see the Jazz Sixers game. Listen to Tim and Amanda Wednesday and Thursday morning for your chance to win Primo Jazz tickets Wednesday and Thursday on Utah's Morning News on KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 3:45. The three things you need to know this hour first.
A man who applied for a job at the University of Utah claims the school's diversity initiatives kept him from being a candidate and alleges reverse discrimination. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera.
Second, the Lady Utes have slipped to number 20 in the just-released AP Top 25 basketball poll. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
A new accident. This is in Midvale, northbound I-15, about 7200 south. It's been moved to the shoulder out of traffic. Two crashes jamming up the drive southbound I-15. Both are prior to the Center Street exit in Provo. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
High pressure in control with most of the week in the 50s. I'm Matt Johnson.
It's 52 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. President Biden met with his National Security Council today to discuss a response to the deadly drone attack on U.S. troops in Jordan. We've learned the attack happened as the troops are sleeping. U.S. officials also say that the troops may have mistaken the drone used in the attack to a U.S. drone that was due to return to the base at about the same time. A bipartisan deal on border security could be in jeopardy. It would allow the president to shut down the border if agents become overwhelmed. And former President Trump is urging Republicans to reject it.
It has to be bipartisan. You have to have Democrats and Republicans working together in the House and the Senate to get something done. But we're going to keep at it till we get something done because it's too important not to.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a judge in South Carolina, has denied a request by convicted double murderer Alec Murdaugh for a retrial. Stocks closed higher to start the week. The S&P at a new record. This is ABC News.
And now the in-depth on KSL. We're learning more about the deadly shooting at UNLV last month at the college where 4 people were killed. Joining me live, ABC News correspondent Alex Stone. So what's new that we didn't know before?
Yeah, you remember that the shooter, Anthony Polito, 67-year-old guy who had been trying to get a job, went into the school, the business school at UNLV, and opened fire. So today we've obtained a confidential law enforcement report that goes over new evidence in the case, including that we knew he had arrived with a hit list, that he was looking for specific people. The sheriff in Las Vegas had said, well, he said that he had a hit list and that they knew that this was not random. But today we learned in this report that he had 2 laminated cards with him, that they were found. They were bloody. They're on the scene, that they found one of them on him and one next to him with names, photos, room numbers of the intended targets. But, Jeff, those intended targets were not there the day of the shooting in early December. That when he went in, He could not find them. He went to several different floors looking for these people, even having their photos on the card, and then began killing other faculty members who just happened to be there that day. None of the victims were intended targets based on the two laminated cards. Then he went outside after shooting and killing 3 random faculty members and injuring a 4th. Then he got into a gun battle with police, and he died.
This rampage had another aspect to it. He also sent envelopes around?
That's right. Yeah, 22 letters. It had white powder. That was deemed to have been harmless, but we all of them went to people related to his academic background. We learned, though, in this report that one of the letters, well, all but one, went to the academic background, but one of them went to a vehicle insurance claim supervisor. Why? He must have had some beef, some anger at his insurance company of this claim supervisor who must have denied something for him. But his letters, we know, that were with the white powder, had a lot of sexual comments in them against women, talked about women making men wear neckties and suit coats to work. There was a lot of anger there. Law enforcement believes that he had grandeur about himself, that he was angry about not getting hired at UNLV, that he had done a lot to try to get a job at UNLV. They would not hire him. He was angry about that, and that's why he carried it out.
And he's dead, so does that close the investigation?
Well, for the most part, yeah, they don't think anybody was helping them. They have done a lot of investigating to make sure there are no more aspects to it, but generally it is case closed. Nobody will be charged in this, it appears. That they believe that he did this out of anger in his own life and died in the process.
ABC's Alex Stone joining us live on the deadly shootings at UNLV last month. Thanks a lot, Alex. 3:49 now. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Southbounders on I-15 in Salt Lake County, it is starting to get busy, like right around 2100 South and again at 90th South, but overall, no real delays. We do have an accident. It's at the bottom of the on-ramp to northbound I-15 at 7200 South on the right. The 21st South Freeway now starting to see just a little bit of busier traffic building as you're approaching I-215's West Belt. I-15 in Utah County, they've evidently been able to get those crashes moved over to the shoulder and out of the way and open up those lanes prior to Center Street in Provo because those delays are starting to thin out and clear. Steve?
It's a busy drive on southbound Foothill Drive this afternoon. Heavy traffic right now between the U and 13 South. We may have had a traffic light on the fritz, but looks like traffic is starting to move in both directions now. North and southbound I-15 rolling along at the full speed limit. No issues there between downtown Salt Lake and North Ogden. Same easy ride on 215, I-84 Legacy. The West Davis Highway looks good. Same for Highway 89 between Farmington and Ogden. Get the best Valentine's gift ever, a Minky Couture blanket. Save 50% by using promo code KSL50 in stores and online at minkycouture.com. Minky Couture, the best Valentine's gift ever. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast closes out January with very mild spring-like temps. 52 today, sunny skies and a little hazy. 53 tomorrow, mostly clear. We keep it mostly clear with a couple of passing clouds on Wednesday, 56 degrees. We're bringing in some clouds on Thursday, mostly cloudy, 55. Showers move in on Friday, 49. We drop it off to 42. Rain, snow showers on Saturday. Mostly cloudy and dry on Sunday, 43. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. It's 52 degrees. Your iRobot vacuum cleaner will not get a new master. We'll have the story coming up next.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
That's what I said now. Princess who adore you. Just go ahead now.
My secret hobby? My flight simulator. I am a make-believe 737 pilot, and when I fly, Xfinity is constantly downloading satellite imagery, a massive amount of data that creates this beautiful world beneath my fake plane. And at the same time, my wife is streaming a show or planning her garden online. Meantime, we have cameras and thermostats and grandkids glued to their phones, but it all works without hitch or glitch because we have reliable, blazing fast internet from Xfinity. Xfinity Wi-Fi is a game changer. Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi on the Xfinity 10G network for a reliable connection throughout your home. Now through March 21st, new customers can get started with 1.2 gigabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Offices in Midvale and Clearfield. 1412 South Legend Hills Drive, Suite 200, Clearfield, Utah, 84015. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section and after Dad's back injury. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Trouble with opioids can start at home with unused medicines such as pills, patches, and syrups. You can remove the risk and protect your family. Find out how at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Join your friends who rely on KSL each morning for the fastest routes to work and school.
I like traffic on the 9s.
So I need to get the kids up earlier so that my son isn't driving quickly in a snowstorm.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s.
On KSL News Radio.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. Amazon has canceled its billion-dollar deal to buy iRobot. And just after the deal was terminated, iRobot laid off a third of its staff. Amazon took a hard look at the automatic vacuum cleaner company and decided this deal would face too many regulatory hurdles. One of the biggest real estate companies in China, Evergrande, has been shut down. The high-flying company, $300 billion in debt, and this wipeout leaves thousands of Chinese home buyers holding the bag. They paid, and their condos were never completed. On Wall Street today, another record close for the Dow, gaining 244 points, closing at 38,333. The S&P gained 36, the NASDAQ up 172 points. It's time now for Cougar Tracks at 3:56. Here's KSL Sports BYU insider Mitch Harper.
BYU basketball is back in the win column after taking down the Texas Longhorns 84-72. Since Texas is on its way out of the Big 12 to the SEC after this year, victory could be grounds for some friendly trash talk. Not so fast. Some BYU students in the front row of the students section tried to do that at Saturday's game with white t-shirts that spelled out Horns Down. Horns Down is the upside-down version of Texas's hook 'em hand gesture. The students were asked to remove the shirts by BYU officials. BYU coach Mark Pope addressed it after the win.
From the rock and from our players and from our student body, that's just not us. That's not how we roll. And it was just a miscalculation on just a couple eager kids, which we love the eagerness of these fans, but it's not what we do here.
For more BYU basketball breakdown, tune in to Cougar Nation tonight at 6 here on KSL. With Cougar Tracks, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL News Radio.
Brought to you by Central Bank's CB Vault, Utah's help center for startups and entrepreneurs. Visit cbutah.com.
Are you a startup, entrepreneur, or business owner looking for funding?
Look no further than Central Bank's CB Vault, Utah's help center for startups and entrepreneurs. CB Vault understands the unique challenges faced by business owners. CB Vault is here to help you start, grow, or thrive with a dedicated help center for startups and entrepreneurs, providing personalized financial solutions, networking, and guidance for every step of the way. With a range of services tailored for startups and small businesses and expert financial advice to flexible loan options, CB Vault helps you get funding and allows you to keep your equity. Whether you're seeking funding, planning expansion, or navigating the financial landscape, CB Vault's team of experts is ready to assist you in turning your vision into reality. Don't let financial barriers hold you back. Central Bank's CB Vault is here to unlock your business potential. Visit CB Vault today at cbutah.com. Central Bank, voted best bank in Utah Valley. Strong, local, secure. Since 1891. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Meet Aileen.
Hello.
Aileen suffers from FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Missing out on her favorite KSL shows.
I really do.
Fear not, Aileen. Just bring up the podcast page at kslnewsradio.com. Utah's Morning News, Dave and Debbie, Boyd Matheson, and Jeff Caplan are all there. Plus BYU Cougar Podcasts, The Movie Show, and more.
No more FOMO?
No more FOMO. When you can't listen live, we have you covered at kslnewsradio.com.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dyno app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. And here's Ricky Meese.
Crashes and delays have cleared on southbound I-15 in Utah County getting into Provo. Now it's Salt Lake County's turn. Traffic filling in and slowing down southbound I-15 from the south interchange almost to 90th South. And we're also seeing a good drive on the rest of the Salt Lake County freeways, but an accident at the bottom of the on-ramp to northbound I-15 is 7200 South. Steve?
Southbound Foothill Drive still pretty packed in right now between Mario Kopecki Drive and Foothill Village. Northbound 15 filling in now at 2300 North Warm Springs Road into North Salt Lake, but no crashes on the westbound Legacy or Highway 89. Prioritize your marriage and celebrate your relationship. Celebrate with a virtual date at the Utah Marriage Celebration Friday, February 9th. Register at StrongerMarriage.com. That's StrongerMarriage.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, the inversion is building. Mostly clear tonight, down to 30 degrees. Then for tomorrow, more haze, 53. On Wednesday, the haze thickens, and we're going to hit 56 degrees.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 4 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. Winter is taking a pause. It's 52 degrees. KSL's top story. Parents of an Alpine School District student are suing after they say a bus driver sat on their disabled child to restrain him. KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell with the story.
Reading through the court documents, prosecutors are alleging this is not the first time Kathy Draper, a bus driver employed by Alpine School District, had abused the 9-year-old. They say Alpine School District officials had seen video evidence of Draper physically abusing the same child before and apparently did nothing. The lawsuit also says the child has intellectual and physical disabilities.
Alpine School District has yet to respond to our request for comment. A man who applied for a job at the University of Utah is suing after he says the school discriminated against him.
Dr. Wyatt Felt claims the school passed him over for a professor job in the mechanical engineering department because of their diversity initiatives. As a white man and a Latter-day Saint, he argues gender, race, and religion kept him from being seriously considered as a candidate, in spite of his qualifications. In a statement, the University of Utah say they haven't had a chance to review these claims, but they point out Felt appealed to the state's Anti-Discrimination and Labor Division last July, and his claims were unfounded. We've not been able to reach Felt for comment. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Schools are the third most frequent location for hate crimes in the U.S. That's from a new FBI report that shows as many as 10% of all hate crimes happen at schools and universities. Black students are targeted the most, then Jewish, then LGBTQ students. The Secretary of State says the U.S. will respond to a deadly drone attack. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, the attack by Iran-backed militants killed 3 American service members in Jordan and wounded dozens more. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today expressing his condolences to the families and echoing President Biden.
We will respond decisively to any aggression, and we will hold responsible the people who attacked our troops.
White House National Security Advisor John Kirby says the deaths are the first known military deaths since Israel's war with Hamas began.
It's fundamentally different now because we have 3 families who just got the worst possible news. That's different.
No word on whether the U.S. will target the militants or their backers in Iran. The bipartisan deal on border policy, which has been in the works for months, could be in jeopardy. Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump doesn't want it to happen and has made it part of his campaign platform. But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says they've not stopped working on the plan that will satisfy both sides of the aisle in Congress.
We're making good progress. There are still some bumps in the road, still some things that have to be resolved.
Funding for Ukraine also depends on that deal. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Apparently, thieves are using self-checkout to cash in on stolen credit cards. Utah Highway Patrol Sergeant Spencer Roden tells David Dujanovic a video caught 2 suspects pulling out thousands of dollars through self-checkout.
They used multiple different credit cards or debit cards that they had stolen in auto burglaries up Provo Canyon.
Roden says it's easy to get away with this because one person watching over 10 checkout stations has a harder time stopping thieves than a clerk who would refuse to take multiple cards without ID. KSL News Time 4:04, a man is in the hospital after a trench collapse. This was at a construction site in Weber County. The fire department there says it was extremely muddy and the victim was completely buried. Another worker dug him out with a backhoe, which first responders do not recommend because of the obvious risk, but in this case it worked. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but was conscious when rescuers arrived on the scene. Did your blood pressure spike during yesterday's conference championships, NFL? Turns out more people are experiencing sports-related cardiac issues.
It's supported by scientists. Watching sports can be bad for your health. Multiple studies have linked heart failure and cardiac arrest to the emotions felt while watching the activities. In 2017, researchers in Montreal found that TV viewers' heart rates increased 75% for 40 minutes, and the heart rates of in-person viewers increased by 110% for 72 minutes. That's equivalent to over an hour of vigorous exercise. Without proper hydration or breaks, it can trigger heart attacks, especially to those already at risk. And with the Super Bowl coming up, taking breaks and staying hydrated is as important as ever. Alexandria Bonia, KSL News Radio.
The Red Cliffs Temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is almost open for tours. A church news release says public tours begin February 1st. Reservations can be made online. The new temple in St. George will be dedicated March 24th. KSL News Time 4:05 now. Monday afternoon traffic, a first look with Ricky Meese.
Southbound I-15 in Utah County, delays have cleared out while they're setting in on southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County going through Murray, Midvale, and into Sandy. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
It's the Super Bowl, but really it's going to be the Taylor Swift Bowl, right? You know this. My Minute's on the way next.
There are so many things that set Euromax cabinets apart from any other cabinet provider. The details can be a bit overwhelming, but let me give you a small sample. Each of their boxes are made from laminate with high-strength pressed wood core. They band all 4 edges of each piece using a waterproof and heat-resistant PUR glue that's the best in the industry. Their process virtually eliminates water damage, chipping, and greatly extends the life of wherever you put them. Whether it's inside glass cabinets, under the wall cabinets, or in the toe kicks, nothing adds a more luxurious feeling than lighting done correctly. When it comes to the face of your cabinets, the sky's the limit. They have access to all the cutting-edge products in the market. Simply put, the finest cabinet to be built and installed in the state of Utah. Go see their showroom in Pleasant Grove or start shopping their product at EuromaxFurniture.com. That's EuromaxFurniture.com. Euromax, built for you.
This Monday Tax Tip is brought to you by Susan Spears, CEO of the Utah Association of CPAs.
Audits of tax returns occur when the IRS launches a review of your accounts and financial information. Whether you're a business owner or an individual taxpayer, IRS audits can affect you. The IRS starts an inspection to ensure that you are reporting information correctly. The IRS will notify you of an audit by mail only. They will not initiate an audit by email, phone, or text. This is important as many taxpayers fall prey to con artists who call or email individuals claiming to be the IRS. The IRS notice letter also has certain characteristics that can help you distinguish from a scam. Your CPA can help you deal with the IRS.
Get the most out of your income tax preparation when you hire a CPA. Go to uacpa.org to find a CPA that's right for you. That's uacpa.org. Listen to KSL on Monday for more tax tips from the Utah Association of CPAs. ARUP needs you for platelets. Join KSL's Tim, Amanda, Dave, and Deb to learn more about how you can help your community through your life-saving donation. Visit utahblood.org.
My name is Tom.
My name is Cindy.
We give to and volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
We know our time and money are going to the right places.
We don't just wear the shirt.
We live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Completing her takeover of the known world, now Taylor Swift gets a Super Bowl. Yesterday, they tried to talk about football.
They got 66 yards in total offense.
But then she's on the field, kissing and hugging her man, and everything stops.
Travis Kelce. Hey,
with Taylor Swift.
To the victors go everything. I don't know.
Life is good if you're Travis Kelce. It's going to be his Chiefs and the Niners, but really, it's going to be Taylor Swift against the clock. For big as this game is, the real drama will be whether Tay-Tay gets to Vegas in time to see it. Follow along. She has a concert in Tokyo the night before. Because of the 17-hour time difference, if she hops on a private jet right after her last song, she could make it to Vegas, maybe, in the middle of the fourth quarter, maybe. It's a 13-hour flight. Talk about heart-stopping drama.
Grab your passport in my hand. I can make the bad guys good for a weekend.
Will she arrive at the game in time to see her boyfriend hoist the Lombardi Trophy? I can see this so clearly. America sitting on the edge of the couch, slurping up the 7-layer dip as roads close in Vegas and police clear a path for the singer's motorcade. Wall-to-wall coverage, paparazzi, airborne choppers following her to the stadium and to her seat to see Kansas City coronated, confetti fluttering, and Taylor kissing her chief. But she could have avoided the entire drama a year ago. Before her big tour, before Travis Kelce, the NFL offered her the Super Bowl halftime show, and Taylor said no. She didn't need football. Her tour had already sold out all of the football stadiums, but now, with millions of women suddenly enamored with the Chiefs, football needs her.
Don't say I didn't warn ya.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Now traffic and weather together were brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
We had a stalled vehicle in traffic southbound I-15, about 4,500 south. They've been able to get it moved over to the shoulder, but it did back up traffic to about 33rd. And then some more slowing waiting for you at the south interchange, almost to 90th south. On the northbound side, we have an accident at the bottom of the on-ramp to northbound I-15 at 7200 south. And westbound on the 21st South Freeway, it's starting to get crowded and a little slow as you're approaching 7200 west. Mark?
Got a beautiful day for a drive out west, lighter than normal on SR 36 down Main Street to Willa. Bangerter's got light volume through West Valley. Southbound Mountain View, heaviest SR 201 to 3500 south. I-15 in Utah County getting good KSL travel times on and off the freeway. Steve?
As still pretty much a sluggish ride right now if you're on southbound Foothill Drive between, looks like the U and Foothill Village. Both directions of I-15 rolling steady and smooth this afternoon between Salt Lake and Brigham City. Got no crashes or anything else to slow you down if you're on the 215 westbound, I-84 of Legacy. West Davis Highway's all clear too, and if you're on Highway 89, got a good drive between Farmington and Ogden. Big O Tires is locally owned and operated in Utah. Now through February 19th, get up to $160 off select sets of tires after a mail-in rebate. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
We'll be running 12 above the normal today with a high of 52, hazy sunshine. Overnight, 30 degrees, clear skies. For tomorrow, 53, mostly clear skies, up to 56 by Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
52 degrees. So thieves are robbing the self-checkout at the grocery store? We have full details on the way. We'll explain coming up. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. We're on the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Oh, what a night. Late December back in 63. What a very special time for me. As I remember what a night. I got a funny feeling when she walked.
I'm not a scientist. I don't know if the cold seeps into the house or if the heat escapes. Don't know. But I do know it might mean you need new windows. Good thing our friends at Advanced Window Products have a special January offer that'll save you extra money on the best-made, precision-crafted windows and frames straight out of their local production facility right here in Salt Lake. Get your whole house done. 10 windows or more, you get $2,500 off their quoted price. Double pane windows, and they even build insulated frames that'll keep your home toasty warm in winter, cool in summer, and they do it for less money. They're not resellers, so there's no middleman. At Advanced Window Products, they build the windows, they install the windows, and they guarantee them for life. There's 0% financing. You can buy now, pay later, but make the call right now and stop the cold from seeping in or the heat from escaping. Don't know. I don't wear a white lab coat, but I do know a deal, $2,500 off. Call 801-850-9100, 801-850-9100, or visit AdvancedWindowsUSA.com.
They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. You may not have that kind of time for weatherization, energy efficiency, and appliance rebates, but we do. Dominion Energy's ThermWise program has experts who know where and how to save money. They help homeowners and businesses find simple ways to conserve natural gas and rebates through upgrades that may help to save even more. We put our energy into helping you conserve it, so you can spend your 10,000 hours becoming an expert in what matters to you. Start with a home energy plan at thermwise.com.
Dominion Energy's ThermWise program experts help you save money. Start now at thermwise.com.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. It's not just you.
My husband passed away. He had been ill for quite some time. And he did the taxes, but he forgot to send them in. He never sent the forms in. And this was the beginning of my nightmare.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
I got all these letters from the IRS telling me I owed them $63,000. I had a good friend that she said, "You need an attorney." She said, "Call Jordan Wilcox."
You need someone to fight for you.
He said, "Cynthia, we're going to give him $3,000. How does that sound?" I started crying because I was overwhelmed.
Visit taxhelput.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit taxhelput.com.
You have it made in the shade with Jordan Wilcox.
That's taxhelput.com.
KSL News Time 4:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah lawmakers are working out ways to keep the lights on in Utah, many focusing on the coal industry. But one Democrat senator wants to focus more on renewable sources. I'm KSL News Radio's Amy Kobe.
second, a man was hospitalized after a trench collapsed at a construction site in Weber County. Another worker dug him out with a backhoe. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
A stalled vehicle on southbound I-15 in Murray has been moved out of the center lanes that it was blocking. And traffic between 33rd and 45th South now starting to move again, but we do have our slowdown setting in at the South Interchange into Midvale. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Clouds are starting to part, but temperatures are staying mild. I'm Kevin Eubank.
52 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now, our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. U.S. forces may have mistaken an enemy drone for an American one and let it pass unchallenged into a desert base in Jordan, where it killed 3 U.S. troops and wounded others. That's what U.S. officials say.
Since mid-October, the Pentagon says Iranian-backed militants have launched 165 attacks on American service members. Those strikes split between bases in Iraq and Syria.
80 U.S. personnel have received non-serious injuries since the attacks began.
Spokesperson Sabrina Singh saying this weekend's drone strike in Jordan was the first deadly attack. The Pentagon hasn't said when or where it might retaliate. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
That border security deal being worked on by Republican and Democratic senators, not dead, says Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
We're making good progress. There is still some bumps in the road, still some things that have to be resolved.
House Republicans going ahead on the impeachment inquiry against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, accused of failing to curb the numbers of people at the border. Congressman Dan Goldman, New York Democrat.
There's been no due process here. This is a rushed, sham impeachment that is purely being done for political purposes, but it will have a really, really detrimental impact on this institution.
The judge has denied the defense request for a new trial for Alex Murdaugh, about a year after he was found guilty of shooting to death his wife and son. Judge in Columbia, South Carolina, ruled that even if the court clerk did tell jurors to watch Murdaugh's actions and body language on the stand, the defense failed to prove it directly influenced their decision. The IRS, ready for your tax filings. Chief Tax Information Officer of the tax prep company Jackson Hewitt, Mark Stieber, says file sooner rather than later.
So somebody who might have stolen or bought your information out on the dark web can't swoop in and file a fake tax return like is attempted 1 million times a year.
This is to thwart identity thieves, he says. You're listening to ABC News.
And time for the KSL In-Depth. Self-checkout has become a real headache for retailers, and now the Utah Highway Patrol is criticizing self-checkout. Utah Highway Patrol Sergeant Spencer Roden with Dave and Dujanovic this morning explained how thieves are utilizing self-checkout to steal your money.
Well, this one particular case, I shared the video with Andrew Adams. They were at this station for almost 15 minutes. 14 minutes and 46 seconds is how long they were there. They used multiple different credit cards or debit cards that they had stolen in auto burglaries up Provo Canyon. And so it makes it a real challenge because they'll go there, they'll use what they can. If they had to go to a checkout station where there was a live clerk there, they're not going to be handing them multiple different credit or debit cards that have somebody else's name on it, and they can't identify themselves. And so, yeah, they get in there and they're buying a lot of cash cards. They buy some personal items, maybe some clothing items or some, healthcare items or something like that, but they'll buy 2 or 3 or 4 or a half dozen cash cards in amounts of $200 to $400 to $500, and when they leave, having bought those, they've got that much cash in their hands essentially that are virtually impossible to trace.
And poof, they disappear. Roden says thieves got away with thousands of dollars in just 15 minutes. You've been listening to the In-Depth at 15 and 45 now. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Ricky, what's going on?
Busy and slow. Southbound I-15 between 53rd and 90th South. It's also starting to see increased traffic on the 21st South Freeway. This is westbound between Redwood Road and Bangerter, and then as you're passing 5600 west into Magna. Mark?
Getting a little bit of signs of rush hour volume through West Valley on the Big 3, Mountain View 5600 west and Bangerter, but not solid. You got a good start right now, Bluffdale to Camp Williams on Redwood Road and I-15 in Utah County. Good KSL travel times, no matter the direction. Steve?
We're looking good right now if you're on I-15 heading out of downtown Salt Lake City, rolling steady and smooth. Nothing to slow you down all the way up to Willard Bay. Same goes for 215 on the West Side Belt. Legacy between I-80 and Station Park in Farmington. Some delays, though, westbound 5600 South and Roy between I-15 and 2700 West. And still really sluggish and crowded if you're on southbound Foothill Drive between the U and Foothill Village right now. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Kevin Eubank is here. Are we in record territory this afternoon?
Oh, Jeff, it feels like it, doesn't it? Temperatures today have been in the low 50s, 53 so far in Salt Lake. The record is 57 degrees, so we're close. But over the next couple of days, it stays really mild. Low to mid 50s on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll keep it with lots of sunshine. Clouds roll in Thursday as a storm comes into southern Utah. And then that storm will push north Thursday night into Friday into Saturday. It'll start as valley rain, but then mix over to a little bit of snow as we head into the weekend. The good news is this will bring significant moisture to southern Utah, which they desperately need, and it'll be a nice couple of storms that'll clear the air as we head to the end of the week and the weekend here in the north.
Before we get to that storm, how bad's the air going to get?
Air quality right now is moderate in Salt Lake City with a few stations that have flipped over to the unhealthy for sensitive groups. It'll deteriorate for the next 2 days, likely will be unhealthy in the valleys as we head through late Wednesday into Thursday.
Okay, so for right now, while it's 52 degrees and the air is moderate, Go out. Enjoy.
Enjoy
right?
now because it's going to get a little worse.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kevin. KSL News Time 422.
The new year is here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the year. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Don't forget your air ducts to help alleviate allergies or asthma. Enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home will stay cleaner longer. Don't DIY it. Call Zero Res because you know it's safe and effective. Zero Res has a 4.8 rating on Google with over 3,300 reviews. The Zero Res Gotta Love It guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. Yeah, Zero Res absolutely stands behind every cleaning. Don't miss the best deal of the year. Get back to clean and get one room of carpet cleaning starting at just $25 per room by using promo code 25RM. Call Zero Res at 866-0RES or go online at zerores.com and say you want the station special. Zero Res. Spell it backward or forwards. It spells the same.
Hi friends, Dan the Laptop Man here from PC Laptops. I get a lot of emails with feedback from customers. Here's one. Dear Dan, I just had the best experience ever. I bought a computer from Shane at your State Street store. I asked several what I thought were really stupid questions. Shane was super courteous and made me feel comfortable through the whole process. People need to understand how important it is to support a local company, especially when your experience is so good. PC Laptops really does love me. Signed, Satisfied. I love hearing feedback like that. It really just gives me the chills. It's the whole reason why I got into the computer business in the first place. You can get a brand new PC Laptops desktop, and they start at only $29 a month. And it comes with a lifetime warranty. That means if anything goes wrong, we're going to take care of you. Just check us out at PCLaptops.com. That's PCLaptops.com. At PC Laptops, we really do love you.
Two friends taking pictures of the rising full moon on a summer night.
Two teenage kids doing what teenage kids do.
When a stranger with a gun and a death wish changed everything.
It was violent, it was senseless, and I will never understand it, I will never accept it.
I'm Amy Donaldson, and unfortunately, we're all too familiar with stories about how violence shatters lives. But what we rarely see is how they are rebuilt. In a new podcast, The Letter, we relive tragedy, but only so we can hear the rest of the story. The struggle to reclaim lives, the realities of grief, and the possibilities of forgiveness.
I believe in miracles. Sometimes I thought, there are no miracles. Yeah, there are, and this is a big one.
Follow The Letter at theletterpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. The Fed meets on Wednesday and Thursday, a meeting that usually ends with some sort of pronouncement about interest rates. The expectation is rates are going to stay right where they are and start coming down in May or June. A new bill heading to Congress would double the fines for illegal robocalls. The measure would also crack down on the use of AI to impersonate people in robocalls. Last week, there was a political robocall that sounded like President Biden. It wasn't. It was artificial intelligence faking the president's voice. The newest coffee flavor taking the world by storm, olive oil. Tomorrow, if you partake, you can get Starbucks coffee infused with olive oil. It's called Oleato. The CEO got the idea when he was on a trip to Italy. On Wall Street, the Dow closed at another record high today, sixth record of 2024. The Dow gaining 224 points, closing at 38,333. The S&P up 36. The Nasdaq gaining 172 points. KSL News Time 426.
As the new year begins, you and your credit card might be ready for a quiet break. Experience the relief of a low rate with the Mountain America credit card. With a 3% cash bonus on balance transfers, it's more relaxing than ever. Open a Mountain America credit card today for your limited time bonus. Details at macu.com/transfer. Loans and approved credit. Membership required based on eligibility. Offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Debbie, both you and I like to do it yourself. Whenever we can, we'll do it ourselves. One thing I will not mess with, the electrical work in my house. I'm just too nervous.
I second that. I don't touch electrical either. Never have, never will. That's why we need Master Electrical on our team. DIY? That's right. If you're DIYing a project, don't touch the electrical system in your house. Make sure you call Master Electrical.
And one of the things they'll do is they come out, they give you a bid. When you receive that bid for the work you want done, they honor that bid. So if it takes longer, if it's a little bit more difficult, they will just say, you know what? To keep a good relationship with you guys, I'm going to honor that bid no matter what.
And they're always open, even for emergency services. So you want to give them a call today. The number to call is 801-543-2222. Again, you're calling Master Electrical at 801-543-2222.
Yeah, they serve everyone from Logan to Santaquin. All you have to do is either call them, like you said, Deb, or check them out online at masterelectrical.com.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
Meet Aileen.
Hello.
Aileen suffers from FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Missing out on her favorite KSL shows.
I really do.
Fear not, Aileen. Just bring up the podcast page at kslnewsradio.com. Utah's Morning News, Dave and Debbie, Boyd Matheson, and Jeff Caplan are all there. Plus BYU Cougar Podcasts, The Movie Show, and more.
No more FOMO?
No more FOMO. When you can't listen live, we have you covered at kslnewsradio.com.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the Nines, brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Ricky, what's going on?
A slow ride on southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County going from 4500 almost to 90th South. Also, heavy and slow traffic westbound on the 21st South Freeway, Redwood to Bangerter, and again passing 5600 west into Magna. Mark?
Short on accidents, and it looks like a lighter than normal commute on I-15 through Utah County. Getting a little bit of blowback on Pioneer Crossing, struggling from I-15 by the time you get out to Saratoga Springs. You're back open again. West Side Drive is still heavy. Mountain View, a struggle from SR 201 to 3500 Southwest Valley. Steve?
And in Davis County, backups and bumper-to-bumper traffic right now if you're on southbound 15 in Centerville. UHB had been doing a traffic slowdown for some reason through there, but expect delays starting at Glover Lane. Got a fresh crash up by the U on 5th South there by Wakara Way. You'll spend 33% of this year on your mattress. That's almost 3,000 hours. Start sleeping comfortably on a new Serta mattress from Two Brothers Mattress. Learn more at twobrothersmattress.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
With the core of high pressure right over the Great Basin, we'll keep temperatures similar to yesterday. Low 50s, sunny skies, mild, even some haze. 30 overnight, goes mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 53. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 4:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. It's 52 degrees. KSL's top story. A new court filing sheds light on why Utah leaders decided to sue TikTok. It includes details we weren't able to see when the lawsuit was first filed.
Much of the original suit against TikTok was redacted, but new filings last week included parts of that original complaint unredacted. In it, state prosecutors compared TikTok to a casino, saying it is engineered to manipulate users and keep them coming back. The suit also claims TikTok was fully aware of how harmful its app could be to the mental health of young people. Becky Bruce, KSL News Radio.
Governor Cox talked about the lawsuit yesterday with Boyd Matheson on KSL TV's Sunday edition. The governor says the basis for the lawsuit is to hold the social media companies accountable.
These companies knew what they were doing, knew it was causing harm, knew that their designs were going to addict kids, and they ignored those warnings and moved forward anyway.
The governor says this legislation will give families tools to, quote, stop the madness. OpenAI announced a partnership with a children's safety organization today. They say with the help of Common Sense Media, they'll hopefully be able to create a more kid-friendly version of ChatGPT. Salt Lake County's west side is long overdue for some commuter relief. Enter something that'll be called West Side Express. The legislature is looking at funding to beef up public transit on the West Side. KSL News Radio's Adam Small with details.
Senate Minority Leader Luz Escamilla is trying to help UTA get the final $4 million they need for their West Side Express project. This bus route would run along 5600 West from the Old Bingham Highway to the airport before crossing over all the way into downtown Salt Lake City. Escamilla said in a subcommittee hearing today that with all the growth in that area and the potential for multiple sports stadiums along that route, we need another way for people to get around.
The proposed funding still needs to be approved by the full legislature. Utah lawmakers are split on how the state should keep the lights on in the future. One Democratic senator wants to see more renewable energy involved.
Senator Nate Bluin says he has a lot of concerns with how Republicans in the state are trying to make Utah's energy more reliable.
We're seeing this continued reliance on the same way things have been done, despite coal mines shutting down and federal government regulations that are trying to keep us healthier. We're pushing back on all of that.
Bluin has several bills he's still writing. One would focus more on geothermal power for Utah. Another would incentivize Rocky Mountain Power to update its grid. Part of the goal there would be to actually save you more money on each bill.
It's substantial. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars over months and years.
Reporting at the Capitol, Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
Heads up, Utah Highway Patrol says our warmer than normal weather may be creating unexpected rock slides, at least 2 this morning. They've responded to rock falls halfway up Ogden Canyon, one of them large enough they had to move the rocks out of the way with a snowplow. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. No cars were damaged. NATO's Secretary General is in Washington urging Congress to provide more aid to Ukraine. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg says supporting Ukraine is not charity. It's an investment in our own security.
It will be a tragedy for the Ukrainians if President Putin wins, but it will also make the world more dangerous and all of us more insecure.
Funding for Ukraine hinges on a deal being negotiated by a bipartisan group of lawmakers. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says they are still working on the plan after all these months, and it includes border security.
It has to be bipartisan. You have to have Democrats and Republicans working together in the House and the Senate to get something done. But we're going to keep at it till we get something done because it's too important not to.
Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump doesn't want it to happen. It's been a major campaign platform for him. Last week, he called on House and Senate GOP members to hold off. New details in last month's mass shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas that left 3 faculty members and the shooter dead. A law enforcement report shows the shooter had a clear hit list, but since none of his targeted victims were there that day, he shot random victims instead. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
A bill that would change parental rights for children conceived through assault passed out of a House committee meeting today. KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricardel is at the Capitol joining us live. Hugo?
Jeff, the House committee gave this bill a pretty quick nod to move forward this afternoon. Representative Angela Romero said there are no laws written around this topic in Utah yet until now. Now, I just finished speaking to Nicolene Peck. She is the president from the Worldwide Organization for Women. That's an advocacy group. And she says what impresses her about the bill is actually the protection it gives to the accused. If passed, women who report their rape and they're subjected to a rape testing kit will be allowed to keep this kit for up to 20 years after the test, which can be then used as evidence should the rapist challenge custody. She says this would ultimately help eliminate the possibility of false accusations. She also says most rapes are committed by intimate partners or prior intimate partners who, in her experience, are often the ones who attempt to obtain custody of their child. Reporting live from the Capitol, Hugo Ricardel, KSL News Radio.
Now, let's take a look at traffic. Ricky Meese is here. First look, what's going on?
Well, good news. UHP has concluded their slowdown on southbound I-15 in Centerville. Residual delays continue. And we had an accident called out on the scanners, Bangerter Highway, about 2500 south. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Nightmare flight. Stay here. My minute's on the way. Next.
Easy Cater presents We've Got Your Back.
Upsingers.
Backing you up. So I order food on Easy Cater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville. Oopsies.
So I call Easy Cater. Nina picks up right away.
Nina fix it for you.
She called me right back and said you're all set.
Nina fixed the Jackson accident.
Jackson? Easy Cater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at easycater.com and know.
We got your back.
Your tax refund belongs to you, not an identity thief. Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues, and all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Don't let someone else enjoy your refund. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Well, hunting season's over. It's just starting for me. Say what? I'm online at huntexpo.com applying for Utah's top 200 big game tags, just $5 each.
Wait, Utah's top 200 tags, $5? Come again?
Yeah, it's the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo in Salt Lake City. February 15th to 18th.
So we could book a hunt while we're there.
Right. And they've got live auctions, big banquets, live entertainment by Jaegertown and Nico Moon.
Oh, I see. And we can get discount admission at Sportsman's Warehouse, Les Schwab Tires,
Bass Pro Cabela's,
and Utah Toyota dealers.
There's endless hunting opportunities at the Hunting Expo.
All right. Huntexpo.com. I'll get the ticket.
Yeah, okay.
Apply for the $5 tags and book a hotel room. Oh, yeah, we could sign up for all kinds of seminars we could take.
Your hunt starts at the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo and huntexpo.com. Produced in cooperation with the Utah Office of Tourism. Get tickets and details at huntexpo.com.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Another case of rage at the airport, but this one's a little different. A passenger was so fed up with the delay before takeoff, he took things into his own hands. This was an Aeromexico flight out of Mexico City. Instead of taking off for Guatemala, the jetliner sat on the tarmac and baked. Passengers were sweltering, the air grew stale, and after 3 hours, one guy had enough. He opened the emergency exit and took a walk on the plane's wing. Then, after breathing some outside air, he waltzed back into the plane. You already know what happened next. Police came aboard, they arrested the renegade, but it's what happened after the arrest that is capturing the world's attention. Another passenger scrawled a handwritten statement in a notebook, thanking the man for opening the door, complaining the airline endangered the health of passengers. The author of the note proclaimed that this wing walker saved everybody's life. And here's the twist. 77 fellow passengers signed that note. A rebellion backing Coach. I ask you, do these people sound happy? With this uprising, the airline finally let everybody off the plane after 5 solid hours. Aeromexico found another plane, and it took off with all the disgruntled passengers aboard except for the wing walker. The guy who took one for the team. There's no word if he's going to face charges.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together once again. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Delays on southbound I-15 from 4500 almost to 90th South. Then a KSL traffic trooper giving us a heads up that the bogged down traffic southbound I-15 from Bangerter to 146 South. Well, UHP was holding them back, but there may be an accident. And sure enough, I'm looking at a crash over to the right shoulder now, just before 146 South. We're clearing out westbound on the 201 between I-15 and 5600 West, but from there into Magna, it is bogged down and slow. Mark?
Close traffic out west has got to be Mountain View. It's pretty awful. Southbound SR 201 into West Valley, 3500 South, and then Bangerter between California Avenue and Kearns is spotty delays, but I don't see any one place that's particularly bogged down until you get southbound down to 9800 South. You got Redwood Road looking pretty good. Bluffdale to Camp Williams. I-15 in Utah County. Don't see any major slowdown. Steve.
And for Davis County drivers, got some thick traffic on southbound 15 through Centerville. Those delays are clearing up, getting back to full speeds. Northbound I-15 rolling free and clear out of downtown Salt Lake City up through Davis, Weber, and Box Elder counties. No problems there. Had a crash up by the U on 5th South and Wakara Way. That's in the clearing stages. And southbound Foothill Drive still packed in, slow traffic between Mario Capecchi Drive and Foothill Village. It's Rez's best deal of the year. Get one room of carpet cleaning starting at $25 per room with promo code 25RM. Book online anytime at zerorez.com. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
Plenty of sunshine with hazy skies. The valley inversion is in full swing and air quality is moderate and deteriorating. Tonight, 30 for the low, 52 mostly sunny and hazy on Tuesday, 56 mostly sunny and hazy on Wednesday. We see a storm system come into southern Utah on Thursday. That'll push north, bringing rain and snow to northern Utah by the end of the week and the weekend. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Starting to get hazy. It's 52 degrees, and we've finally seen exactly why Utah is suing TikTok. Our legal expert, Greg Skordas, is going to join us live in a few short minutes. Stay here. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. We're on the app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. I learned the home heating business sitting on Mike Wilson's knee, metaphorically speaking. He taught me you have to change your furnace filter every couple months. When he comes to the studio to talk about any hour services, he always points out that the furnace factory recommends you get it tuned up once a year to make sure it's safe and to keep your house warm. And he also happens to mention that Any Hour Services offers an inexpensive 29-point furnace tune-up, and it includes a standard 1-inch filter free. This is why every winter my wife and I make an appointment and a certified Any Hour HVAC technician tunes up the furnace. Any Hour Services can save you a lot of headaches and help with all the major systems in your home. You can trust me on this. Or you can sit on Mike Wilson's knee. Your choice. But there's a third option. Check out their 19,000 Google reviews and make an appointment. 801-443-7400 or schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 15% on select Sanctuary by Green Fiber blown-in insulation when you buy 30 or more. And there's more. Save 10% on select OSB sheathing when you buy 68 or more. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Spend time with KSL News Radio and get a deeper understanding of the world around us.
I do listen to KSL so much because you've got voices like Boyd Matheson.
I listen to him every day.
You can trust him.
Inside Sources, weekdays 1 to 3
on KSL News Radio.
Glad you're listening. KSL News Time 445. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
TikTok not only knows its app is harmful to kids' mental health, it's designed to keep them hooked like a slot machine at a casino. That detail in a new legal filing from the state of Utah. I'm KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce.
More in just a moment. Second, Utah lawmakers are looking to make a $4 million expansion to UTA transit through the west side of Salt Lake County. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
It's an accident on southbound I-15 just before 146 South. Now, it is out of traffic now on the shoulder to the right, but it did back up traffic to 123rd South in Draper. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hazy sunshine and mild temperatures continue. I'm Kevin Eubank.
52 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. The judge has denied the request for a new trial for Alex Murdaugh, convicted about a year ago of shooting to death his wife and son. At the South Carolina hearing, Judge Gene Toll said there's no evidence the court clerk's comments to jurors made any difference.
The clerk of court allowed public attention of the moment
to overcome her duties.
U.S. forces may have mistaken an enemy drone for an American one and let it pass into a desert base in Jordan where it killed 3 U.S. troops and wounded dozens more, that from American officials. Urging more U.S. military aid for Ukraine, NATO Chief Jens Stoltenberg at the State Department.
It will be a tragedy for the Ukrainians if President Putin wins, but it will also make the world more dangerous and us, all of us more insecure.
Tomorrow, House Republicans prepare impeachment articles accusing Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas of failing to stop the surge of people seeking asylum at the southern border. This is ABC News.
And now the KSL in-depth. TikTok knowingly addicts its users, and it's detrimental to children's mental health. That's what Utah's lawsuit against TikTok claims. We're finally learning the details of the lawsuit filed way back in October. They weren't available to the public till now. They've been unredacted, and thankfully joining us live, KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas. So, Greg, first of all, unredacted means what?
Means it's now exposed. It means parts of the lawsuit were previously sealed. If you read the lawsuit, you would see these black lines in certain places. And it was actually at the request, I think, of TikTok and with the agreement of the Attorney General's office to say, look, you don't need to, because lawsuits in America, Jeff, are part of the public domain. In other words, I can go pull up this lawsuit anytime. Anyone can. So I think there was a notion that this lawsuit's out there. We want to pursue it, but we don't really need the media and the public to know all the details of the lawsuit yet. That has now been cured, and now the lawsuit is...
So the black lines have been removed.
Virtually all of them.
So
not all of them, but most of them.
We know what this is about. So what do we see behind those black lines?
Well, what I think the concern was it talked a lot about TikTok's algorithms, talked about their methods. It talked about the way that they're going about hooking youth, sending them blasts in the middle of the night. And we've seen that TikTok consumes so many people's time, so much of their time, and they're doing things like they kind of know the things you like to look at. You like to look at silly dogs. You like to look at people falling down on the ice. And so once you start doing that, they'll just hit you more and more and more. Of course, you and I talked earlier. I mean, that's sort of what marketing's all about.
Sure. If you're a business,
sure,
your job is to hook the customer, whether it's toothpaste or a social media site. But here it's a special circumstance.
Right. And I think it's because we're talking about our youth. We're talking about young people, people that are more susceptible to that sort of prodding, that sort of marketing than maybe you and I would be. And the government coming in saying, maybe we need to protect the youth more. And we've seen a lot of lawsuits and a lot of legislation in Utah that to make it so that there's parental consent to kind of keep our youth off the internet.
So it's unfair to give you 20 seconds to answer this question. But does this lawsuit from Utah against TikTok have legs?
It's got legs, and I think we're going to see other states following it. We don't know how far this will go. My guess is TikTok might come to the table and say, let's compromise. Let's put some safeguards in place.
Kind of a settlement, in essence. All right, thanks a lot. KSL's legal analyst, Greg Skordas. As always, we appreciate you coming in. It's 4:49. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. And here's Ricky Meese.
A slow drive southbound I-15 from Murray to Bluffdale. There's a patch in Sandy where traffic eases a bit, but it doesn't last long. And we have the accident involving, I think maybe 3 or 4 vehicles over to the right shoulder just before 146 South. Eastbound I-80 now getting a little busy and slow as you go from Bangor Highway to the West Belt. And some slowing westbound on the 201, 5600 west into Magna. Mark?
Well, now this will account for some big delays I'm seeing all of a sudden on Bangor Highway. You got a crash now reported by UDOT southbound Bangor Lake Park Boulevard. And it's already been slow up there around California Avenue as far as rest of the Bangor Drive. Going to run into some more slowdown southbound at 9800 South. Regular delays through West Valley between SR 201 and 3500 South on Mountain View. SR 36 and I-15 in Utah County look pretty good. Steve.
I-15 zipping along at normal speeds in KSL travel times. Both ways between South Salt Lake and South Willard were crash-free as well. Same story on the 215 West Belt and Legacy between I-80 and Park Lane in Farmington. Got a good drive through Weber Canyon on I-84 both ways. West Davis Highway looks good. Same for Highway 89 between Lagoon and Harrison Boulevard. But a busy drive on southbound Foothill between the U and 21st South. With fresh snow comes fresh tracks, and Murdoch Hyundai right now receives 0% for 3 years on a Tucson or Santa Fe. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
A very hazy pattern to start the week. We've got lots of sunshine and it's mild, but hard to enjoy it when the air quality in the valley is moderate to unhealthy. Tonight, lows in the 30s with highs in the 50s again on Tuesday. Hazy sunshine, 56 on Wednesday, near record-breaking levels in Salt Lake. Mid-50s Thursday with a storm coming to southern Utah. That storm makes it to northern Utah by Friday and Saturday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Checking notes here. Yes, this is still winter, but it's 52 degrees. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mama. I think the whole world's addicted to the drama, only attracted to things that'll bring the trauma. Yeah, madness is what you demonstrate, and that's exactly how anger works and operates. Man, you gotta have love just to set it straight. Take control of your mind and meditate. Let your soul gravitate to the love, y'all.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, savvy, staying ahead of the market at every turn, finding ways to do more with less, and taking advantage of every opportunity that comes their way. That's why Comcast Business is introducing the Small Business Bonus. For a limited time, you can get up to a $1,000 prepaid card when you switch to Comcast Business, the company with the largest, fastest, reliable network. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call or go online to learn about the $1,000 bonus today.
Give your business a head start in 2024. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Call or go online to switch today. Ends 2/21/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 50 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offer requires premium internet.
It's the Boat Show, February 1st through the 4th at Mountain America Expo.
Save $2 at UtahBoatShow.com.
The Boat Show, fun for the whole family.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Sign up for KSL text alerts and you could win cash. Text the word cash to 57500 for a chance to win $250. That's cash to 57500. Plus, you'll get breaking news and traffic updates right to your phone. Want to win more prizes? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking Utah Jazz news. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply. For an alternate entry method and complete contest rules, go to KSLNewsRadio.com.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. The world's top pharmaceutical companies are getting nervous as they get ever closer to the day their patents expire. CNN reports the top 20 drug companies have $180 billion at stake between now and 2028. Casino gambling has never been bigger. Betting reached $160 billion in December alone. If people are willing to gamble away money, economists say this proves Americans are feeling good about the economy. Utah Olympic and Paralympic skiers and snowboarders just got $1 million donation. The money to go toward their mental health and performance recovery. It comes from the Altera Mountain Company Foundation. The money will benefit more than 240 athletes. On Wall Street today, another record close for the Dow, sixth one of this year. The Dow is up 224 points at 38,333. The S&P up 36. The Nasdaq gaining 172 points. And listen to this. X, Twitter, X is blocking all searches of Taylor Swift. I mean, you type in her name in the search bar, nothing's going to happen.
A blank space is what you'll get if you search on X for Taylor Swift, the social media site blocking searches of the superstar singer's name after X was flooded with sexually explicit and abusive deepfake pictures of Swift. When you try to search her name, it says something went wrong. Oddly, though, if you search her name using quotation marks, that still works. X said in a statement that the search block is a temporary action as they prioritize safety on this issue. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
I just tried it. Yup.
Social Security is with you through life's journey from birth to retirement. As your life changes year to year, so do your needs. For over 80 years, Social Security has helped to meet your needs and is committed to improving access to the services that make a difference in your life. Today, you can verify your earnings, estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, manage your benefits, and even change your address, all from the comfort of your home. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Meet Aileen.
Hello.
Aileen suffers from FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Missing out on her favorite KSL shows.
I really do.
Fear not, Aileen. Just bring up the podcast page at KSLNewsRadio.com. Utah's Morning News, Dave and Debbie, Boyd Matheson, and Jeff Caplan are all there. Plus BYU Cougar Podcasts, The Movie Show, and more.
No more FOMO?
No more FOMO. When you can't listen live, we have you covered at KSLNewsRadio.com.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I volunteer with United Way to help the homeless in my community learn computer skills and build a basic resume. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Here we go. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the nines. Brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Slow down southbound I-15 Murray into Bluffdale with a couple of crashes near 146 South on the shoulder. And a new accident popping up. This is westbound I-215 South Belt near Redwood Road. Move to the shoulder. Mark?
Two places where traffic's bogged down out west, and that includes Bangerter southbound with a crash at Lake Park Boulevard 2500 South. You got heavy delays from California Avenue. Southbound Mountain View prior to Lake Park down to 4100 South with delays in I-15 in Utah County. Still good to go. Steve.
Well, no wrecks, no delays on I-15, just normal speeds and KSL travel times right now this afternoon between downtown Salt Lake and Brigham City. Same story on 215's West Belt. Got a good drive on Legacy as well between I-80 and Station Park in Farmington. A good drive through Weber Canyon on I-84, plus the good speeds on Highway 89 between Lagoon and Harrison Boulevard. Get the best Valentine's gift ever. A Minky Couture blanket. Save 50% by using promo code KSL50 in stores and online at minkycouture.com. Minky Couture, the best Valentine's gift ever. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
You can see the haze a bit. The inversion is building. Mostly clear tonight, down to 30 degrees. For tomorrow, more haze will reach to 53, and on Wednesday it thickens. And we're going to hit 56 degrees.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
This is the 5 o'clock report. 20 minutes of uninterrupted news, commercial free. I'm Jeff Caplan. KSL's top story. The parents of a child with breathing difficulties have filed a lawsuit against the Alpine District. They claim a bus driver sat on their son to restrain him. KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell with details.
According to the lawsuit, this is not the first time Kathy Draper, a bus driver employed by Alpine School District, had abused the 9-year-old. Prosecutors are alleging that Alpine School District officials had seen video evidence of Draper physically abusing the same child before, but apparently did nothing. The lawsuit also says the child has intellectual and physical disabilities, which include significantly diminished lungs. Hugo Ricard-Bell, KSL News Radio.
KSL has reached out to the Alpine School District for comment. They have yet to respond. A Utah man is suing the University of Utah, claiming he's the victim of reverse discrimination. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera with the story.
Dr. Wyatt Feld alleges the school's diversity initiatives are the reason he was passed up for a professor position in the mechanical engineering department. As a white man and Latter-day Saint, he argues gender, race, and religion kept him from getting hired in spite of his qualifications. In a statement, the university said they haven't had a chance to review these claims, but did show us a rejected appeal with the state's Anti-Discrimination and Labor Division from last July, showing those claims were unfounded.
Dr. Felt is yet to respond to our request for comment. Well, you already know the state of Utah is suing TikTok for its alleged harmful impact on teens. Now we're seeing details of the lawsuit. According to an unredacted copy of the suit, Utah charges that TikTok manipulates users with its never-ending feed and the highly personalized push notifications. The suit claims that 1 out of every 5 teens between the ages of 13 and 15 uses the app between midnight and 5 a.m., hoping for rewards. KSL News Time 5:02. We have breaking news at KSL. Utah's Attorney General has co-written a letter to the White House supporting the Texas border defense. Sean Reyes says he's proud to stand with Texas in their efforts to, quote, combat the surging crime, resource depletion, and the threats to national security. 26 other states have signed on to the letter to the White House. KSL News Time 5:02. Self-checkout is making it easier to steal money. Utah County Sheriff Sergeant Spencer Canyon told David Dujanovic that they've been seeing thieves use multiple stolen credit cards to load money onto cash cards at the self-checkout.
When they leave, having bought those, they've got that much cash in their hands, essentially, that are virtually impossible to trace.
Sergeant Roden says a pair of suspects stole thousands of dollars this way in just 15 minutes. A military mix-up is now to blame for a drone strike that killed 3 U.S. service members. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, air defenses were confused because a U.S. drone was returning as another attacked the base in Jordan. The deaths are the first military deaths since Israel's war with Hamas began. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh explains why the unit was there.
These 3 fallen heroes were deployed to Jordan in support of Operation Inherent Resolve and the international coalition working to ensure the lasting defeat of ISIS.
There are fears of an escalating conflict that would draw the U.S. military into a war in the Middle East, but Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the path the U.S. has been taking would not lead to war. He says there will be military response.
And that response could be multi-leveled, come in stages, and be sustained over time.
The drone attack is believed to have been carried out by an Iran-backed militant group. However, Iran insists that they did not order the attack. And former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is hoping to leverage her home state to gain ground on former President Trump as the state hosts the 3rd competitive contest of the primary season. Columbia Mayor Daniel Rickenman tells ABC News what's on the minds of voters.
It is truly focused on public safety, mental health, housing, economic development, job creation. I mean, people are talking about front porch issues right now.
President Biden carried Columbia County in the 2020 general election, which helped propel him to the White House. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
3 of Utah's top leaders met with the NHL commissioner today. Governor Cox, Senate President Stuart Adams, and House Speaker Mike Schultz say they're all excited about the prospect of being the new home to an NHL franchise. We're going to go in depth. Stay with us. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. The Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. Can you handle the pressure?
Researchers are looking at how strong emotions can increase the risks of cardiovascular issues. Those strong emotions can be triggered by earthquakes, war, extreme weather, and buzzer beaters by your favorite team. Several studies have come to the same conclusion. In 2017, hockey fans experienced double their resting heart rate during a game. And in 2022, heart issue-related hospital visits jumped 15% during World Cup soccer games.
It's KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla. Health officials say you got to stay hydrated, and if you feel irregular heart symptoms, go straight to the hospital. Do not wait till the end of the game. First look traffic on the 5 o'clock report. Here's Ricky Meese.
Right now, I'm looking at a new accident, a live shot of the 21st South Freeway. This crash is on the westbound side to the left shoulder, just before 7200 West. If you're traveling southbound on I-15, the usual slowdowns waiting for you, Murray into Bluffdale. But at Bluffdale, near 146 South, we've had 2 crashes on the southbound side of I-15, and Foothill jammed up tonight southbound from the U almost to I-80. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ricky. KSL News Time 5:06. Jury selections underway today for a Salt Lake City canine handler. He's accused of ordering his dog to assault a surrendering suspect. Nicholas Pierce is accused of sicking his canine on a man who was kneeling and showing his hands back in 2020. After that incident, Salt Lake City stopped using canines to arrest suspects. Should he be convicted, Pierce could get up to 15 years in prison. A Utah lawmaker wants even bigger fines for people who speed in school zones. State Representative Robert Spendlove tells David Dujanovic Utah hasn't updated the current law in 27 years.
We have a very high fine for speeding in the construction zone. Let's have the same kind of fine for school zones because we value our kids as much as we value construction workers.
Right now, speeding in a school zone carries a minimum fine of $50. That would increase to $260. This bill would also increase the fine if you drive around a school bus when its stop sign is out. The punishment would be $1,000 plus community service. An Enoch police officer is recovering from a shoulder injury after rescuing a teen pinned by a 1,200-pound trailer gate. On Friday, a couple of 15-year-old boys were playing on a storage lot. The trailer gate fell on one of them. The responding officer was able to lift the unhinged side of the gate, weighing about 400 to 500 pounds, to free the boy. He was taken to the hospital with several injuries but shouldn't have any long-term effects. King Charles is out of the hospital. He was released today after surgery for an enlarged prostate. Well-wishers here cheered him and Queen Camilla outside the hospital. Another royal, the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, is also out of the hospital after abdominal surgery.
The palace today said she's, quote, making good progress. They then went on in that statement to thank the entire team at the London Clinic, saying she also is sending thanks to people for the well wishes they've received from around the world. But, you know, all we know now is that it's going to be a long recovery for Kate. The palace has said they expect her to take 2 to 3 months of recovery at home. They don't expect her to return to any official royal duties until at least after Easter.
KSL News Time 5:08. This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Completing her takeover of the known world, now Taylor Swift gets a Super Bowl. Yesterday, they tried to talk about football.
They got 66 yards of total offense.
But then she's on the field, kissing and hugging her man, and everything stops.
Travis Kelce. Hey,
with Taylor Swift.
To the victors go everything.
Life is good if you're Travis Kelce. It's going to be his Chiefs and the Niners, but really, it's going to be Taylor Swift against the clock. For big as this game is, the real drama will be whether Tay-Tay gets to Vegas in time to see it. Follow along. She has a concert in Tokyo the night before. Because of the 17-hour time difference, if she hops on a private jet right after her last song, she could make it to Vegas, maybe, in the middle of the fourth quarter, maybe. It's a 13-hour flight. Talk about heart-stopping drama.
Grab your passport in my hand. I can make the bad guys good for a weekend.
Will she arrive at the game in time to see her boyfriend hoist the Lombardi Trophy? I can see this so clearly. America sitting on the edge of the couch, slurping up the 7-layer dip as roads close in Vegas and police clear a path for the singer's motorcade. Wall-to-wall coverage, paparazzi, airborne choppers following her to the stadium and to her seat to see Kansas City coronated, confetti fluttering, and Taylor kissing her chief. But she could have avoided the entire drama a year ago. Before her big tour, before Travis Kelce, the NFL offered her the Super Bowl halftime show, and Taylor said no. She didn't need football. Her tour had already sold out all of the football stadiums, but now, with millions of women suddenly enamored with the Chiefs, football needs her.
Don't say I didn't warn ya.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
If you're headed southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County, your delays start right around 53rd South and continue almost to the point of the mountain. We've had a couple of crashes on southbound I-15 near 146th South. They are out of traffic on the shoulder. We also have traffic a little heavy and slow. I-215 southbound. This is eastbound approaching the I-15 junction. And the crash we had westbound on the 21st South Freeway, approximately 6800 West, has already been cleared. Mark?
You're going to get your delays. Nothing too unusual through West Valley this afternoon on the Big 350, 600 West, Mountain View, and Bangerter Highway. Mountain View's going to hang up again briefly through daybreak, and then Bangerter back down again around 134th South Construction Zone. I-15 in Utah County still lighter than normal, not having any major delays. Steve?
Well, you have leftover busy traffic on southbound Foothill Drive right now between the U and 21st South. We have a good drive on 215 on the West Side Belt Route. Legacy looking good, too, between I-80 and Park Lane in Farmington. If you're on I-15, smooth and steady this afternoon both ways. No wrecks, full speeds between downtown Salt Lake and North Ogden. Attention Wasatch Front businesses and property managers, don't wait for bad weather to schedule professional snow service with GoPave Utah. Your complete parking lot safety starts with GoPaveUtah.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
As we head through the 5 o'clock hour, temperatures in the low 50s under hazy sunshine will fall into the upper 40s for 6 o'clock, mid 40s for 7, with low 40s for 8 and 9. Ultimate lows will be in the low 30s under clear skies. With your hourly forecast on the 5 o'clock report, I'm Kevin Eubank.
As we head toward sunset, we're at 49 degrees in Salt Lake City. Sunset at 5:40. KSL News Time. 5:12. Maria Chaleos is here, and I think we're going diamond shopping.
We are going diamond hunting. A last-minute detour turned out to be quite profitable for a visitor from Paris. Julian Navis, he came to the U.S. to see the launch of the first U.S. moon landing mission in decades from Cape Canaveral, but he also wanted to visit New Orleans while in the States, so along the way, he decided to visit Crater of the Diamond State Park in Arkansas because I guess he's panned for gold and other stuff in the past. He says he got to the park early in the morning, mainly looking on top of the ground, but a news release from the park says, here's the thing. The park had received more than an inch of rain in the few days before he arrived, so it was wet and muddy. The superintendent says, as the rain falls, it washes away the dirt and uncovers heavy rocks, minerals, diamonds, and that's exactly where most of the diamonds are found, just on the surface after rain. Now, he was stunned. Navis was stunned. He found a 7.46 carat brown diamond. It's nearly 7.5 carats. The stone is deep chocolate brown, rounded like a marvel. It's about the size of a candy gumdrop, and he says the park is a magical place where his dream of finding a diamond came true.
We have no idea what this stone is worth, do we?
Well, and get this, he's actually going to break the stone. He's going to give part to his fiance and part to his daughter.
That's sweet. I mean, considering what it might be worth, right?
It's worth whatever you can get for it.
There you go. KSL News Time 5:14. The Energy Department is out with new gas price data that found regular unleaded went up 3 cents a gallon the past week. Gas prices in Utah were up 4 cents on average over the past week. KSL News Time 5:14, trending on social media. The most popular dog in Utah is playful, loyal, maybe a little dopey. Can you guess what it is? Golden Doodle. That was announced by U.S. News and World Report. They say that the Doodle is up there with the Chihuahua, the Shih Tzu, Golden Retriever, and a French Bulldog. There's your Utah Top 5. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
bus driver in Alpine School District allegedly sat on a child with disabilities in order to restrain him, and his parents are suing. On KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricardo.
Second, Utah's governor, the Senate president, the House Speaker all met with the NHL commissioner today about the prospect of bringing an NHL team to Utah. More in just a moment. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
It's been an unusually light and quiet drive on I-15 in Davis and Utah counties. But Salt Lake County, we are bogged down on the southbound side of I-15 as you go from Murray almost to Bluffdale. Also seeing a little bit of busy traffic southbound on Redwood Road from just before Porter Rockwell into Lehigh. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Plenty of sunshine, but hard to enjoy it with all the haze. I'm Kevin Eubank.
49 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The enemy drone the U.S. believes was sent by Iran-backed militants may have been mistaken by U.S. forces as one of theirs and let it past the military base in Jordan, killing and injuring American troops. That from U.S. officials.
The Pentagon reporting that Jordan drone strike not only killed 3 Americans but injured at least 40 others. U.S. response?
We certainly don't seek a war, and frankly, we don't see Iran wanting to seek a war with the United States.
Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh not outlining what that response might be. Republican Senators Lindsey Graham and Roger Wicker urging the president to order a strike on Iran. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
After weeks of surgery, then inpatient recovery back at the Pentagon, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin.
I'm glad to be back at the Pentagon. I feel good and am recovering well, but still recovering.
Austin had complications from prostate surgery. House Democrats pushing back against the effort to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the people seeking asylum at the southern border. Congressman Benny Thompson, Mississippi Democrat.
This is a singly focused effort led by Republicans who are just trying to drum up this notion that somehow this is an issue that the Republicans can ride into November.
Rejecting the defense claim of jury tampering by comments to jurors from the court clerk, the judge in Columbia, South Carolina, denying a new trial for Alex Murdaugh, convicted of shooting to death his wife and son about a year ago.
Ms. Hill was attracted by the siren call of celebrity. She wanted to write a book about the trial and expressed that as early as November 2022, long before the trial began.
Judge Gene Toll says there's no evidence the clerk's comments made any difference to the jurors. You're listening to ABC News.
And time for the KSL In-Depth. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman says the league is very interested in Utah as the home to an NHL franchise. That's what he told 3 of Utah's top lawmakers in a meeting today. House Speaker Mike Schultz was there with Governor Spencer Cox and Senate President Stuart Adams. Utah Senator Dan McKay tells KSL TV's Lindsay Aerts the tone of the meeting was positive.
We're in the very early exploration stage with the NHL as they're, looking to, as they're looking at Utah, as they're looking at other markets, and there are other markets who are interested in an NHL team. I mean, we're talking major markets like Atlanta and other places in Florida. So you've got other places that would like to also have a franchise. And so for Utah to be in that conversation just says a lot about the economic environment and the people that we have here in the state of Utah.
So as they pitch this to the NHL, is a new stadium a part of the deal? Well, that remains to be seen.
There are limitations at the Delta Center. It's a tight venue for hockey itself. It's one of the reasons why when the Salt Lake 2002 games were held, we didn't hold hockey games in the Delta Center because it's a very tight venue. It's not optimized for hockey, and so there's some things that would need to be done to make it happen. But I think what you would likely see is if an NHL team was assigned to Utah or awarded to Utah, that we would see a new arena built that would support the team and be built, specifically for hockey.
There's no timeline for making a decision about a Utah NHL team. McKay says they're eyeing the upcoming All-Star hockey break for more talks. You can see Lindsay Aerts' full report about the NHL and Utah, KSL TV tonight at 6 o'clock. KSL News Time 5:19 now. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon, and here's Ricky Meese.
Well, traffic has filled in again on the 201 going westbound. Pretty heavy and a little slow between I-15 and Bangerter Highway. Southbound I-15, it's a drag as you go from 53rd South to about 146 South. And at 146, near that, we've had a couple of crashes. They've been moved out of traffic to the shoulder. Mark?
Still don't have too many wrecks out there. Out west, we have one that's not really causing any delays anymore. Southbound Bangerter around Lake Park Boulevard, 2500 South. As far as west side delays, they are pretty typical. Mountain View, SR 201 down to 3500 South. Bangerter slows again pretty hard around 9800 South. Through the work zones at 134th South. Riverton I-15 still in Utah County, lighter than normal. Steve.
Slow and go on southbound Foothill Drive right now between Macara Way and 21st South. quiet drive if you're on I-15. That's either way. Got good speeds. We're crash-free between downtown Salt Lake and the Brigham City Logan exit. Same easy drive on 215's westbound, Legacy I-84 and Highway 89 between Harrison Boulevard and Lagoon. Common Spirit, hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with Human Kindness is here. Hello, Human Kindness. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
The KSL 7-day forecast starts off extra warm and hazy, but then we'll end off with some storms. Tonight, 30 for the low, 52 mostly sunny and hazy on Tuesday, 56 and sunny and hazy on our Wednesday. Storm moves into southern Utah Thursday and then pushes north. It'll bring valley rain on Friday, a rain-snow mix on Saturday, a bit of a break Sunday, but then more storminess rolls in on Monday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
49 degrees, your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll check the market close in just a moment.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
When you hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's all right. I'm hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. Impactful Online Solutions is a woman-owned business that creates websites for coaches, authors, and service providers who want to look professional, build trust, and grow their business. Founder April Hyatt joins us with more.
People need your unique skills and talents. I help them find you. As a strategic website designer and branding expert, I empower you to build websites that speak directly to your audience. A well-designed website stands out and clearly tells the world what you do. With complete packages that include custom website design, branding, conversion copywriting, lead generation, sales pages, and more, I take the frustration and overwhelm out of building an online presence. That way, when people check you out, they connect with you right away, know you are the best person to help them, and get excited to work with you. If you're a passionate coach, consultant, or service professional, your website needs to show what you do, inspire confidence, build trust, and ultimately grow your business. Let me help you create a website that wows. Get in touch with me at aprilhyatt.com.
With both custom packages and complete templates available, Impactful Online Solutions is here to address your unique website needs. Learn more at their website. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
This Monday Tax Tip is brought to you by Susan Spears, CEO of the Utah Association of CPAs.
The Employee Retention Credit was a refundable tax credit that small businesses could claim during the pandemic. It provided some relief for struggling businesses that kept their employees on their payrolls, even when the government restrictions required them to shut down. While employers may still apply for ERC credits through April 15, 2024 for 2020 claims and April 15, 2025 for 2021 claims, the IRS has warned about ERC mills that are preparing false ERC claims. To find out if you're eligible, contact your CPA. Know that you will need to amend tax returns for any credits received.
Get the most out of your income tax preparation when you hire a CPA. Go to uacpa.org to find a CPA that's right for you. That's uacpa.org. Listen to KSL on Monday for more tax tips from the Utah Association of CPAs.
The political accusations will only get louder.
Stop the invasion of our southern border.
He doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it.
The world around us will only become more divided. With more conflict come key decisions about news stories and the facts. That's why we choose our words carefully at KSL, ask better questions, and leave the conclusions to you. The stakes are higher, and we have you covered at KSL News Radio.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. Amazon has canceled a $1 billion deal to buy iRobot. Just after the deal was terminated with the automated vacuum cleaner company, iRobot laid off a third of their staff. Amazon took a hard look and decided the deal would face too many regulatory hurdles. One of the biggest real estate companies in China, Evergrande, has been shut down. The high-flying company is $300 billion in debt, and this wipeout leaves thousands of Chinese homebuyers holding the bag. They paid for homes, and their condos were never completed. The window to return your holiday gifts is closing. Many companies give customers till the end of January to return stuff. Retailers expect nearly $25 billion worth of returns to be fraudulent. On Wall Street, another record close for the Dow, up 224 points today, closing at 38,333. The S&P was up 36 points. The Nasdaq was up 172. KSL News Time, 5:25. This hour of the show is brought to you by the Utah Association of CPAs. Joining us live with tonight's tax tips, Peter Overson is a CPA with WSRP. He's live with us in the studio. Welcome to KSL.
Hi, Jeff. Thank you.
It's good to have you here. And tonight we're going to talk about audits, the most feared aspect of tax prep. So first of all, what factors trigger an audit for your average Joe?
Yeah, so this obviously is a combination of factors. Sometimes an audit is completely random, and there's nothing you can do to avoid it. But usually it's something along the lines of lots of round numbers, so rounded to the hundreds or thousands place where it just looks like you're estimating. Cash-based businesses, this is also another trigger. Running cash-based businesses, the IRS likes to look in on that sort of a thing.
I used to hear that having a home office was a red flag. This is years ago. I think everything's changed at this point, maybe?
No, it still is.
Really?
It is, yeah. The home office absolutely can bring in IRS scrutiny, right?
Right. Everybody, did you catch that? Okay, so how would I be notified, first of all, if I'm going to be audited by the IRS?
So by mail, I've been hearing Susan's message throughout the day on your channel here, KSL, talking about the fact that they don't reach out by phone or text or email. They reach out by mail.
You get the dreaded envelope you tear open, and it says you are going to be audited. So first thing, what do? What type of document does the IRS want to see in an audit? And even what do you do before that?
So, great question. First thing, you don't panic, but documents that they're looking for would be along the lines of proving stuff that's on your return. So you've listed numbers on your return. Now you get to prove it, whatever they're looking for. And that would be through bank statements or credit card statements, receipts, invoices. These are the types of documents that they're looking for.
And you want to have a certified CPA right by your side for that audit. Get the most out of your income tax preparation when you hire a CPA. Go to uacpa.org to find one who's right for you. Peter, thanks.
Bigger stories demand more accountability, more experience, more trust.
If it's like an election day or we're expecting some bad weather, KSL presents the story. Unbiased. It's a good local source.
We have you covered at KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Ricky, what's going on?
Well, the drive is bogged down as usual on southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County between 53rd and 146th South. Also heavy and slow westbound on the 21st South Freeway, I-15 to Bangerter. Mark?
Still no accidents in Utah County. In fact, I-15 is lighter than normal, but the streets between Orem and Provo are a little bit crowded off the freeway. I don't think there's anything too unusual. Out west, it looks like you still have some West Valley delays on Mountain View, 5600 West, and on Bangerter Highway. Steve?
Well, heads up, drivers on Redwood Road tonight. The power is out, affecting traffic in all directions. This is on Redwood Road between 2300 and 2900 South. May want to find an alternate and, of course, treat those intersections as four-way stop. It's a quiet drive right now, northbound 15 out of downtown Salt Lake City up through Davis-Weber and Box Elder counties. No problems there. Good speeds. Same for the southbound side. Scattered slowdowns on southbound Foothill Drive between Wacara Way and 21st South. Prioritize your marriage and celebrate your relationship. Celebrate with a virtual date at the Utah Marriage Celebration Friday, February 9th. Register at StrongerMarriage.com. That's StrongerMarriage.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
You're listening to Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good evening, 5:30 at KSL. Jeff Kaplan here, 49 degrees, KSL's top story. New details in the state of Utah's lawsuit against TikTok suggest the social network knows exactly how harmful its platform can be for young people. KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce explains.
The details come from unredacted parts of the lawsuit filed in court by the state last week. The state's complaint argues TikTok not only manipulates users to hook them on the app, it says TikTok designed features that way on purpose.
In a statement, Attorney General Sean Reyes said now the public will be able to fully understand why the state wanted to act so quickly and decisively. Governor Spencer Cox joined Boyd Matheson on KSL TV's Sunday edition yesterday, and they talked about the lawsuit.
You know, we don't let kids go gamble in Vegas and get addicted to slot machines, but it's the very same technology. It's the very same theory that they're using to addict our children.
The governor says social media companies need health warnings, very much like the ones on packs of cigarettes. Well, you don't often find Utah and New York on the same page, but here we are. New York City has officially declared that social media is an environmental toxin. This requires an explanation, I guess. The city's Department of Health has issued an advisory that identifies unrestricted access to social media for the young a public health hazard. New York City is actually urging parents to avoid giving their kids a smartphone till the age of 14. State lawmakers are considering a $4 million plan for new electric bus service that would span most of the west side of Salt Lake County. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
Senate Minority Leader Luz Escamilla is trying to help UTA get the final $4 million they need for their West Side Express project. This bus route would run along 5600 West from the Old Bingham Highway to the airport before crossing over all the way into downtown Salt Lake City. Escamilla said in a subcommittee hearing today that with all the growth in that area and the potential for multiple sports stadiums along that route, we need another way for people to get around.
The proposed funding still needs to be approved by the full legislature. House Republicans are taking their next step to impeach a top member of the Biden administration. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, a House committee is likely to vote for 2 articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas tomorrow. Now, they accuse Mayorkas of refusing to enforce the law at the southern border. The committee's chair, Mike McCall, says nobody deserves impeachment more than Mayorkas.
He knows what he's done, and he needs to pay for his sins.
The Department of Homeland Security calls it a political stunt. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says if Republicans are serious about border security, then they should get behind an agreement being negotiated by a bipartisan group.
They're serious about really changing real policies and coming up with policies that's going to make a difference and putting forward resources, then they would be part of getting this bipartisan agreement passed.
Meantime, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is finding a long-distance ally in his battle with the federal government over border policy. Idaho's governor is sending 2 teams of state troopers to help at the border. New Jersey Congressman Frank Pallone has introduced legislation that he says will curb the frequency of robocalls and scam texts.
Most of what's a robocall will become illegal. There will be enhanced penalties, and there'll be ways of trying to update the process with these federal agencies.
Pallone says that a recent Supreme Court decision allowed scammers to go around existing do not call protections. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
A House committee unanimously passed a bill to change custody arrangements for children conceived by assault. Right now, parental rights can be given to the rapist.
Nicolene Peck is the president for the Worldwide Organization for Women. She says this bill isn't necessarily targeting the stranger in the alley, but more so abusive partners.
The majority of people who are raped by people they know. They've maybe had a relationship with them before, and that's the man that's going to come back and say, hey, that's my child and I had a relationship with that woman.
The part of the bill that stands out to Nicolene, though, is the protections it offers the accused.
And this bill would allow them to keep the rape kit for a prolonged period of time so that they couldn't just come up with an excuse later and say, well, he raped me and so my child shouldn't have to see him anymore.
By eliminating the opportunity for false accusations, Nicolene says more focus will be placed on protecting the women and children impacted by sexual assault. From the Capitol, Hugo Ricard-Bell, KSL News Radio.
Republican lawmakers in Utah are boasting about their efforts to improve Utah's energy picture. One Democratic senator sees things a bit differently.
Senator Nate Bluin says he's worried about the direction of several Republican-led bills that essentially protect Utah's coal industry.
It's really anti-free market. It's anti-innovation.
Bluin says he has a bill he's really excited about that would focus more on geothermal energy.
It's a clean energy technology that can produce power 24/7. Can actually, the new technology can store energy. You can pump extra water into these wells and it'll store it and then release it when you need it.
Another bill Bluin is working on would encourage companies like Rocky Mountain Power to update their grid. The goal would be to save the state from fighting wildfires that are sparked by old lines in the summers, and also to save you on your power bill. Reporting at the Capitol, Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
Ricky Meese is full of energy. She's in the traffic center with a first look. What's going on?
We have a power outage affecting the traffic lights at Redwood Road, anywhere between 2300 South and 2900 South. So be careful at a dark intersection, especially by the 201 junction. Remember, treat those as four-way stops. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ricky. My Minute's on the way next. Stay here.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-859-3220. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-859-3220. That's 800-859-3220 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. 800-859-3220.
If you've ever experienced running out of hot water before your shower was done, or hard water spots on dishes and fixtures, I've got a deal you might be interested in. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and you probably already know that a tankless water heater and a water softener solve both issues. If you've ever thought about looking into getting a tankless water heater, here's the deal I was talking about. Through the end of February, we're including a free water softener with every new tankless water heater we install. The best part of this deal might be that you never have to worry about being the last one to the shower again, or that you don't have to waste the money keeping 40 to 50 gallons of water hot 24/7. To take advantage of this deal, call Any Hour Services before the end of February. The visit's free and there's no obligation to buy. If you decide to have us install a new tankless water heater, we'll throw in the water softener for free. That's right, a free water softener when you purchase a tankless water heater. Pick up the phone and call Any Hour Services right now for all the details. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Another case of rage at the airport, but this one's a little different. A passenger was so fed up with the delay before takeoff, he took things into his own hands. This was an Aeromexico flight out of Mexico City. Instead of taking off for Guatemala, the jetliner sat on the tarmac and baked. Passengers were sweltering, the air grew stale, and after 3 hours, one guy had enough. He opened the emergency exit and took a walk on the plane's wing. Then, after breathing some outside air, he waltzed back into the plane. You already know what happened next. Police came aboard, they arrested the renegade, but it's what happened after the arrest that is capturing the world's attention. Another passenger scrawled a handwritten statement in a notebook, thanking the man for opening the door, complaining the airline endangered the health of passengers. The author of the note proclaimed that this wing walker saved everybody's life. And here's the twist. 77 fellow passengers signed that note. A rebellion backing Coach. I ask you, do these people sound happy? With this uprising, the airline finally let everybody off the plane after 5 solid hours. Aeromexico found another wing walker. The guy who took one for the team. There's no word if he's going to face charges.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by the Sinclair Dyno app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. So, Ricky, what's going on?
Well, scanners calling out a new crash involving an auto versus bike or motorcycle. This is just to the side of 20th East, Fort Union Boulevard. That's about 70th South. Southbound I-15 delays continue between 53rd and 146th South, and then westbound on the 201 still bogged down with delays starting just before Redwood Road, almost to Bangerter Highway. Mark?
The driving's pretty good into Utah County on I-15 from Point of the Mountain down to Payson, lighter than normal. Don't even have any backups on the freeways. Some of the streets in Provo, including University Avenue, just are a little bit sluggish with volume. You have some Pioneer Crossing delays from I-15 headed towards Redwood Road, but otherwise delays on southbound I-15 Redwood Road from Bluffdale down to Porter Rockwell, causing some delays. Steve?
Right now the power's still out, affecting the traffic lights on Redwood Road. This is between 23rd and 29th South. Southbound Foothill Drive still thick in spots between McCarr Way and 21st South. Got full speeds, no issues on north or southbound 15 tonight between the capital city and Brigham City. You'll spend 33% of this year on your mattress. That's almost 3,000 hours. Start sleeping comfortably on a new Serta mattress from Two Brothers Mattress. Learn more at twobrothersmattress.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
It's a beautiful sunny day if you can get above the valley inversion. A moderate to unhealthy air quality in the low valleys. Temperatures, though, have been very mild. Salt Lake City, 53 degrees. That's only 4 off the record of 57. Tonight, 30 for the low, 50s again during the day on Tuesday under hazy sunshine, mid-50s on Wednesday into Thursday. A storm system will come into southern Utah Thursday and push north by Thursday night. That'll bring in some valley rain and mountain snow for the end of the week and the weekend. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
49 degrees. So if you're going to watch a sports event like the Super Bowl on TV, you can't be too invested. You can't get too excited, because you could have a heart attack. Stay with us. We'll bring you the story coming up. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. We're on the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. It's 5:42 on Monday night.
All I want to do is have a little fun before I die. Sits a man next to me out of nowhere. It's apropos of nothing. He says his name is William.
No, he's Peter. This hour of the show is brought to you by the Utah Association of CPAs. Joining us live with tonight's tax tip, Peter Overson is a CPA with WSRP, and he's live in the studio. Peter, tonight we're talking about getting audited, the dreaded audit. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Jeff.
Okay. How long, you're going to settle something in my house. How long do I have to keep my tax-related documents just in case I get audited?
So the short answer is 7 years, and that there's a number of reasons for that, but the main one is that if you don't report some income that you should have reported, the IRS can actually go after you for 6 years. So yeah, short answer, 7 years. Unless you know everything's good, then it's just 3 years after you file.
Okay, so the 8th year back I can toss out, put on a bonfire, whatever.
Absolutely. Well,
okay.
Yeah, shred.
All right, shred, fine. What's the process like? If you do get audited, how much time does it take? What do you go through?
So this depends on what types of issues are being brought up. If it's really simple, this can be a 2-3 month process where you're just, the IRS is asking for documents, you're giving them to them, whatever you've got. The auditor will check things out, ask follow-up questions, and this whole thing shouldn't take more than a couple months. Just went through one, and we're just about done. Started in December.
Okay, so when you say the IRS wants something from you, you handle this through your certified public accountant, correct?
Absolutely. So some really simple audits you can handle on your own, and it's not a big deal. But if it gets anything beyond pretty simple, these rules can take a lifetime to learn, and you really don't want to be learning an expensive lesson.
Okay, so speaking of expensive lessons, when you get into the audit, can you negotiate with them? Like they say, you owe us $10,000. I'm going to fight it, but if we make it $2,500, let's call it a day and I'll pay you. Does that work?
So that does not work when you're talking to an auditor or even the auditor's manager, which would be your first step. The second step, if that's just not working out for you, is to go to appeals. And that's where, yes, you can actually make these types of arguments.
Really?
They have to consider hazards of litigation. So if this were to go to court, what's the likelihood that the IRS would win? And that's where you can say, well, maybe give me 40%.
Peter, thank you for this. Get the most out of your income tax preparation. Hire a CPA. Go to uacpa.org and find the CPA who's right for you. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
the man who applied for a job at the University of Utah claims the school's diversity initiatives kept him from being a candidate and alleges reverse discrimination. I'm KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera.
Second, Utah's Attorney General has co-written a letter to the White House supporting Texas border response. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Our usual delays linger on southbound I-15 as you go from Murray into Bluffdale, but we also have a power outage affecting traffic lights at Redwood Road 2300 South to 2900 South, and a crash northbound I-15 at 6 North. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Plenty of sunshine, mild temperatures, but pollution as the valley inversion continues. I'm Kevin Eubank.
47 degrees, and we have breaking news at KSL. As you just heard from Ricky, about 1,800 customers are without power in West Valley. Rocky Mountain Power is saying it's near Redwood Road between 23rd and 29th South. They're expecting to have the lights on by about 6:30. Now, KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. While some Republican senators call for an attack on Iran for the weekend drone attack that killed 3 U.S. troops and injured others at a base in Jordan, the Biden administration is considering what could be done that doesn't start a bigger Mideast war. There'll be a response, says Secretary of State Blinken.
And that response could be multi-leveled, come in stages, and be sustained over time.
There's more about the effort by House Republicans to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas in a hearing tomorrow. It's over not stopping the asylum seekers at the southern border. Congressman Mike McCall, Texas Republican.
He knows what he's done, and he needs to pay for his sins.
A South Carolina judge has denied convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh's bid for a new trial. His defense team accused a court clerk of jury tampering by making comments to jurors. The judge says there's no evidence that the comments made any difference. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
And time for the in-depth on KSL. Sports fans, do not get too excited about the upcoming Super Bowl, okay? You could be increasing your risk of a heart attack. Dr. Kevin Shaw is the director of the Cardiovascular Intensive Care Unit at U of U Health. He says there have been a handful of studies on the effects watching sports, has on the heart.
There tend to be certain themes in individuals who have cardiac events while they're watching sports. The belief is that the emotional kind of roller coaster that can come with watching events, whether it's live or on television, those alone can increase your heart rate, increase your blood pressure, potentially trigger arrhythmias. The emotional states that can come with these highs and lows, that alone can cause inflammation, kind of dysfunction of the arteries and the veins. And as you might imagine, a lot of times while people are watching these sports, maybe they're taking on more behaviors like alcohol, drugs, things like that. And so it can create a little bit of a storm for someone who's either already at risk or somebody with established cardiovascular disease to potentially have an event while they're watching their favorite team.
Dr. Shaw says this isn't something sports fans should take lightly.
I would say people that have established heart disease in particular, people with known arrhythmias, known coronary artery disease, heart failure patients, they should be extra cautious. So they should, I would recommend that they take their medications, that they try to do everything in moderation, right? Alcohol, salty foods, and understand going into a sporting event that they are a little bit higher risk than someone without heart disease, and maybe trying to keep their emotions a little bit more tempered while they're watching these events if they can. I think it's a fascinating issue because sports are one of these things that bring cities together, they bring states together, nations together, and so they're not going anywhere, right? People are going to love to watch sports and root for their teams. It's just important when any of us are doing so, particularly if you have known heart disease, to just be mindful of the potential small risk that comes with it and try to take extra precautions, but absolutely enjoy the programs while they can.
So stay hydrated while watching the Super Bowl this year, and if something goes wrong and you don't feel right, go to the hospital. Do not wait till the end of the game. That's ridiculous. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes now. We're brought to you by the Sinclair Dino app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. And here's Ricky Meese.
Delays continue southbound I-15, and they're pretty consistent going between 5300 south in Murray all the way to 146 south. But on the northbound side of I-15, it's bogged down again as you go from Bluffdale up to Bangerter Highway at Draper. And then westbound on the 21st South Freeway, just a little leftover busy traffic going between the Westbelt and Bangerter Highway. Mark?
Been looking pretty good all afternoon as you make your way Lake Point down to Tooele Main Street on SR 36, and the big three have really cleared out pretty quickly through West Valley, Mountain View 5600 West, and Bangerter Highway. But Mountain View does linger with the delays through daybreak. Bangerter southbound at 9800 South. I-15 in Utah County looks good, but Pioneer Crossing still messed up. So make your way from I-15 Lehigh. Steve.
Got a fresh crash right now, northbound 15 at 6 North as you leave downtown Salt Lake City. After that, you get back to full speeds all the way up to Brigham City. A power outage still affecting the traffic lights on Redwood Road between 2300 and 29 South tonight. That's a 4-way stop at those intersections. And a smooth drive traveling 215's westbound Legacy, I-84, and the West Davis Highway. With fresh snow comes fresh deals at Murdoch Chevrolet. Right now, lease a 2024 Silverado 1500 for only $399 per month. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
A beautiful day with lots of sunshine, but the valley haze getting thicker. Air quality is moderate to unhealthy. Tonight, 30 for the low, 52 mostly sunny and hazy on Tuesday, 56 mostly sunny and hazy on Wednesday. A storm comes into southern Utah Thursday and then pushes north by Thursday night. That'll bring in valley rain and mountain snow on Friday, lasting into Saturday. Bit of a break Sunday before more storminess rolls in for the first of next week. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. It's 47 degrees. We'll check the market close. Just a moment.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
Baby, you can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride? Oh, my outfit's all tight. You can see
This hour of the show is brought to you by the Utah Association of CPAs. Live with us for tonight's tax tips, Peter Overson, a CPA with WSRP. He's with us live in the studio, and we're talking about getting audited, which just strikes fear in the heart of anyone who isn't a CPA. And what I'm noticing is you're really cool about this audit thing.
I've been through a lot of them with clients, and yeah, it's kind of my thing.
Okay, so
tax controversy.
Really? So this is your thing. You're the perfect person to ask. Say I take a huge business deduction. I think it's legitimate. They decide to audit me. And they say, Mr. Jeff, you're not getting that deduction. What am I in for as far as penalties and interest? What happens to me?
So you want to make sure that you file the return timely. That's, first of all, every good citizen is doing that. That gets you out of the late filing penalties. But if you pay late because you've got this balance owing after the audit's done, that's a 6% per year penalty plus interest. And then if they catch you doing something really screwball, then they'll come at you with the big penalties.
This is where you say, oh, my pet's cat food because she keeps me happy while I work, and that's a business deduction. They're coming after you.
That's right.
Okay, I get it. So based on whatever they find in the audit, are there adjustments that one should make to their tax planning?
Absolutely. So this should be considered a feedback loop where you're learning about what the IRS expects on your returns compared to what you thought, and they help you understand, and along with your tax professional, that, okay, this is the right way to do things. I should do that going forward.
Got it. And I thank you very much for giving us a little guidance over the past hour about getting audited, because it just strikes a chill hearing the word. But it's nice to see somebody who's got this. And that is why you want to get the most out of your income tax preparation by hiring a CPA. Go to uacpa.org. That's uacpa.org, and find the CPA who's right for you. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks,
Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors, and I'm proud to tell you we don't lay off employees when things get tough. During the pandemic, we didn't let one of our installers go. Instead, we had them clean and remodel our offices so they could still get paid. Remember the 2008 housing crisis? It was a financial nightmare for even the biggest contractors. Still, we didn't lay off a single worker. Nope, we sacrificed profits to keep paying everyone. Look, when the economy's down, most contractors are quick to lay off their workers. It's the easiest way to save money when times get tight. But at RGS Exteriors, we're loyal to our people. You know why? Because it's the right thing to do. People first. People always. That's the RGS way. For gutters, siding, windows, and more, call RGS Exteriors at 801-280-3110 or visit rgsexteriors.com. That's rgsexteriors.com, 801-280-3110.
It's the Boat Show, February 1st through the 4th at Mountain America Expo.
Save $2 at utahboatshow.com.
The Boat Show, fun for the whole family.
We're watching Utah's money at KSL. On Wall Street, the Dow closed at another record high today, sixth record close of this year. The Dow gaining 224 points, closing at 38,333. The S&P up 36, the NASDAQ gaining 172. Time now for Cougar Tracks. Here's KSL Sports BYU insider Mitch Harper.
BYU basketball is back in the win column after taking down the Texas Longhorns 84-72. Since Texas is on its way out of the Big 12 to the SEC after this year, the victory could be grounds for some friendly trash talk. Not so fast. Some BYU students in the front row of the students section tried to do that at Saturday's game with white t-shirts that spelled out "Horns Down." Horns Down is the upside-down version of Texas's hook 'em hand gesture. The students were asked to remove the shirts by BYU officials. BYU coach Mark Pope addressed it after the win.
From the